Judd'z Budz episode 159. Gretzky plus Mikey Milne. As always, your host, Bugsy, joined by my good buddy, Mr. at State of Hoppy. Hoppy, how we doing?
Apparently way better than you. I was wondering why you didn't talk at all pre-show, but you sound like you're ready to go to bed.
I've been ready to go to bed all day. I'm on 25 minutes of sleep again. This is a new record as far as feeling dead. I'm dead. I have no energy. I've got nothing. So it's going to be great. It's going to be a good time. And I love it.
I love that. I'll wake you up a little bit. Did you see Jay Fresh's post an hour or two ago?
I barely looked at any Twitter today.
That's usually your answer. We got exactly what no one ever asked for, but everyone needs. Who were the slowest forwards of 24-25? Thanks to the NHL's tracking data, we can find out. Here are the slowest by top speed and sustained bursts above 18 and 20 miles per hour. I feel like number one on this list is very obvious. After that, it might get a little scattered. Why don't you give me a top couple of names that come to mind for slowest NHL skater?
I mean, Reeves feels like one, but he barely played this year. I don't even know.
Does he even count as an NHL player?
I don't really know.
I don't think he's on the list, and I think that's probably why.
What did you say?
So there's three different categories. There's sustained, there's top sustained speed, and then fewest 18 plus mile per hour bursts per 60, and fewest 20 plus mile per hour bursts per 60. First place is the same across all of them, and it's the one player that I feel like you'll either get or you'll kick yourself for not getting.
Oh, is it Maroon?
Yeah, it is Patrick Maroon.
Has to be.
Yes. A player that took second in two of them may shock you. And my hint, what up, Snooper and Dresky Storm chasing? Hopefully we don't scare you away. And yeah, the storm looks like it's supposed to be pretty bad out here. I don't know if you knew, Z. Apparently there's 7 tornadoes hitting Minnesota at once. It's going to be nuts.
Really?
Not really 7, but apparently really crazy weather, including tornado, potentially. Your one hint for this guy is his diet consists of too much plastic.
Oh, Matthew Tkachuk.
Tkachuk came in second on 2 of those, which is very funny to me.
Yep.
Oh, Rochester is gnarly right now, I'm sure. But let me see if there's any names that are crazy, because I feel like there's nothing too out of the ordinary besides that one. Honestly, Kevin Hayes is way too far down the list. I refuse to believe that he's 18th in top sustained speed. Oh, shit. Cracking the list. 23 and 24 on the list. Young players in the Central Division who have been talked about plenty on this show. Not for a while.
We've only got only 7 possible answers. No, you said young. I'll go Bedard because he doesn't really move.
Bedard is one.
Nailed it.
The other one has been portrayed in The Sopranos.
I have no idea.
He's a rat. He's wearing a wire.
Oh, Perfetti?
Yeah, Perfetti. All right. You clearly weren't interested at all throughout any of that, so I'm just going to end that and we can move on to something else.
I just didn't. That's the last thing I would have expected. Some Jay Fresh post. Sometimes he comes up with these ones where he throws these out. I'm like, hey, I don't know why. I would not have ever expected that stat to come out of you.
Well, again, no one asked for it, but I don't think anyone's upset about it except for the guys that are on the list.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's a bulk topic here just being coaching carousel. More firings, anticipated hirings. Do we start there? Yeah, we'll start there. I was gonna say we take the path of getting you a little bit more riled up with Cam Neal's presser.
I mean, that was shockingly bad. It wasn't just Neely; it was all of them. Like, it was Neely, Sweeney, and Jacobs. Like, every answer was so annoying because it was like they were unbelievably defensive. Maybe said we're going to take accountability here while blaming literally every other possible person, scenario, situation. Like, Jacobs was shocked that like Kevin Paul DuPont asked him about ticket prices and why he to justify raising the prices. Like, at that point, did you really not think you were going to get that question? Or honestly, it felt like they were shocked to get any questions. Like,
did you not get our memo that went around saying we're going to kick your ass if you ask us a question?
It was legitimate. Like, some of them were so, like, some of the answers were so bitchy. Like, it was just like, somehow the fans were more mad about the press conference than like the season in totality, because it honestly was just, like, from start to finish, that whole presser was an absolute shit show, where it was like they were like, the fact that they were getting mad at people for asking them like the most obvious questions, like they were getting mad about getting asked about the drafts in the past. They were disgusted that like one of the reporters asked a good question where it was like, you guys have fired several coaches. Like, how many GMs fire this many coaches? Has anyone in your searches like expressed any concern with you? And they were like, basically like, we're the boss of Bruins, like 100 years history, had like the most wins over the last however many years, blah 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 blah. And then he's like, and if I ever, if someone next time we are on a coach search, if someone brings that up, I'll let you know. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. It was like every single question. But again, the one that really, it's always going to piss me off is the ticket prices. The fact that he was like, we have to pay our fucking like concessions people. Dude. It's like, that's what your fucking answer was? Like, you could have at least just been like, hey, we're going to make sure that, yeah, we don't want to raise the prices. Like, we don't want to make people pay more, but our goal is to make it like worth whatever. Like, you could have at least spun it like, hey, we're going to make that like whatever it is, whatever the like cheapest ticket is, we're going to make it worth the trip. Because it's like, if you're this dog shit again, no one's going to want to like put down $500, $600, $700 to go to take like a family of 4 or 5 to a fucking hockey game to watch them get their ass whooped. Like, yeah, no.
There's also part of me just given the market. And like you said, like, they do have a track record and a history just of, whatever they want to call sustained success, whatever. But you've got the fan base in place, and with all of their demeanor, just come in and be assholes instead of like cowering behind it and getting mad and offended and butthurt. Be like, yeah, we're raising the prices because every team raises prices, and we know that you guys are going to keep coming. So, okay.
Well, it's like basically
a draft question too, right? Like, oh, so how about those 3 picks in a row? Like, yeah, how about when we got McAvoy at the end of the first? How about when we got Pasternak at the end of the first? Let's just agree to disagree here. Like, I think fans would respect that way more than they're like backing away and being like offended that you would even ask these questions. Like, just be dicks.
Well, even like, so specifically the draft thing, for me, like, people do have to get over the 2015 thing. That was a whole fucked up scenario too, about how that draft went down in the first place. But at this point, it was fucking 10 years ago. Right. Like, he just like at some point, like, there were way more misses in the meantime, like, that were significantly more egregious. But like, it wasn't even that. As far as the draft question goes, it was the fact that they were like also defending it by saying, well, if you look at like all these guys, how many games have they played in the NHL? They played a lot of games. It's like, yeah, you're getting fucking players that played games. Half of them didn't play any games for you. You've given up on half of them after 1 or 2 years, or you traded a bunch of them away. But like
Yeah.
it was like every single question was like, did you guys just like not see any of these questions coming? Like, did you not prepare whatsoever? But yeah, at the end, fucking as the sound cut out, they're walking off, and I think it was Kevin Paul Dupont. Like, he was like wanted to talk to him or something, but that happens all the time. But it was just like,
I feel like that's him wanting people to see
unbelievable.
that he's calling him in. He's like, yeah, like he made a point. Like that wasn't Blackburn dropping something that no one saw. Like it was on the video.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was like him like standing up on his way out anyway. I don't know. I didn't take it as like a make sure the camera sees this. But like again, pretty much every answer was a shit show. Like it was like, this is ridiculous. But the big thing that I came away from that was like almost like the most concerning part was the fact that like Cam Neely clearly has a job for life. He will never fire Don Sweeney because they're good buddies. They have clearly indicated that they don't really want to change the way they do things. And it's like, okay, so like I do think they're a better team than what they showed this year. Like there were a lot of things that went wrong, like as far as like injuries go, whatever. But like this is how we're gonna roll, like in perpetuity. Like this is it.
Yeah. Now my question to you though,
is concerning.
To that point, like, would you agree that out of the teams that like flat out bottomed out, like we'll say getting a top 10 pick in next year's draft, Boston's absolutely the best bet to be back in the playoffs out of those teams, right?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Like this isn't a bad roster, like injuries, Wild medical staff, which I'm surprised they didn't come up like 7 times in that presser, but
yeah, they could have just thrown fucking
what happened in the 2015 draft? Do you know?
I don't know, those fucking dick doctors in Minnesota.
Oh man. But yeah, it's I don't know.
It was legitimately infuriating. Like everyone, like, did you
get the sense that Sweeney is for sure back? Like a lot of people seem to think like, oh, is he back or not?
Well, he's definitely back. Yeah, he's back.
Okay.
Yeah, he's for sure. Like I just listen to them talk. Like it's either they have no plan or we're so just like, we're awesome. What are you guys upset about? We're great. This is amazing.
What's our plan? We're the Boston really Bruins.
Cool. Hello, Spoke B. Hello. Oh yeah, very annoying.
Dear Lord. But yeah. All right. So at least you're in the conversation now. Boston got you a little riled. Coaching carousel. Lots of names being thrown around. Not only college coaches, which we've talked about in the past, but got to continue talking about both Carl and Ferschweiler. But now we've got Joel Quenneville in the mix. Now we got my boy Mike Sullivan on the market. I'm very fascinated to see how all of this plays out. And more to the point, because we've seen the shelf life of some of these coaches or lack thereof. Mateo, I need you to make note. We are absolutely, come like August or September, we have to do a full-blown like Deadpool segment that's catered towards like which coaches are going to be fired first.
Yeah. Like some of the ones this year, like some of the surprise, like how bad some of these teams were, I honestly never.
Dude, no one would have picked the Blues coach, right? No one would pick Montgomery. Like,
oh, this was such a shit show. I like part of me keeps forgetting that Jim Montgomery got fired for the Bruins this year.
Right.
Like I keep forgetting that at this point last year it was still the Bruins. I like if you told me, like if you would have asked, I'd be like, yeah, I got fired last year, last season, like a year and a half ago. Like, nope, it was literally like 6 months ago, not even.
And then you see what he's doing with St. Louis. It's like, wait, why would you fire that guy?
Yeah, it's fucking unbelievable.
Let's start with probably the most polarizing one being Joel Quenneville back in the circuit, and sounds like the front runner if you think that John Buccigross is in the know. Going the Anaheim Ducks. That is, for me, the weirdest marriage of vacant coaching spots and coach looking for work. I don't get it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of teams that would like to take a swing at Quenneville. Maybe don't want the PR hit. I'm already annoyed by how the PRs already started. Now it's going. I mean, rightly so. Like he fucked up. I don't even know what the right answer is as far as like you just never coach again. I have no idea. I don't. I'm not gonna really go out on a limb either way. Either way, it's gonna be a shit show. If you're ready for the PR hit, I guess whatever. But like again, to me, it was more
PR, so that does match.
Yeah. It was just like more annoying to the point because I was really talking to myself into like David Carl potentially going there because I just do think it would have been a really fun and good fit. And
I think that one would have made a lot
environment.
of sense.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense. And again, like, so of course now with the Quenneville thing, there's going to be the massive PR situation, whatever. Again, he hasn't coached in forever, so that also is just like why I do this. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me on any level. I think there are plenty of other coaches that they could have obviously take a swing on. But again, I think most of this is coming back to just be like, I'm very annoyed that it's not going to be Carl. Like,
yeah.
If this is if it's true, whatever. But it is one that's just like out of nowhere. Probably didn't like you probably could have found. I think they're better options and better fits than Joel Quenneville.
Yeah. Well, I feel like he needs to go to a team that's ready to win, and they're not there.
No.
And adding him isn't going to just magically flip that switch. Where do you think that I've got David Carl landing?
In New York?
You know, I wouldn't be all that upset because that means that Mike Sullivan's not going there.
True.
But no, Pittsburgh Penguins.
I was half considering gonna just say Pittsburgh.
So you got all of the money that group has. Shout out Fenway Sports Group. Is that weird for Boston fans that like they own the Penguins and the Red Sox? Like, is that at all a conflict?
The weirdest part for me is whenever I turn a Penguins game on, it's the Nesson scoreboard. Like the game display, it's the same exact. So it really, it's like Pittsburgh versus Detroit, and I'm like, and why is that the way that scoreboard? That's not right. Let's get rid of that. Stop it.
But think about it, man. Like they just gave a mega deal to Kyle Dubas, right? This is a long-term plan. We are not like we know this is going to take a minute to get everything sorted out. Why wouldn't they do the same thing with a coach? Overpay him, give him ridiculous term that makes it comfortable for him to go. He gets to go in and partially learn from guys like Sidney Crosby, right?
Literally.
Pretty easy way to step into the league. And then you get to be there for that transition and actually bringing in the right players, being part of that conversation with Dubas, and knowing that you have the security to be there long-term. Because for him, the biggest thing is young family. He doesn't want to go somewhere and get canned in a year and a half. Going to Pittsburgh is like the safe move, knowing that he's kind of married to Dubas in that. I still don't know if he gets on board with it, but if the money and term is there, like, why wouldn't you consider it? Otherwise, I have no idea what direction Pittsburgh's going to go. I'm very sad Mike Sullivan's gone, but it absolutely, like, it makes sense for both sides. Like, eventually, any voice is going to run stale in any locker room unless you're, an ex-lawyer. But I feel like Sullivan landing anywhere that's not Philadelphia or New York, I will be very okay. No, Chicago too. That would hurt me, but I don't think he would do that.
Also, shout out David Carl for saying no to Chicago.
Shout out David Carl for saying no to Chicago.
Such a beauty.
Beautiful bastard. I like how Ferschweiler has just like been tucked under the rug in all of this too. I feel like that's mostly though. Tell me what you think. If Rick Tocchet signs to stay in Vancouver, Ferschweiler to Philadelphia is done. Mm-hmm. But they're waiting to see if they can get Tocchet because that's absolutely who they want. Mm-hmm. Which crazy talk. I don't know, dude. I was listening to What Chaos for a little bit earlier today, and they were talking about the Quenneville stuff. And they're like, what about a team like Vancouver if Quenneville or if Tocchet doesn't stay there? And it's like the last market that could handle him coming in. Like, dude, ask Isha. The amount of keyboard warriors out there, social justice people, like they would burn the city to the ground just off of rumors of Joel Quenneville going there. It would never work. It could not. And you know what? God bless you, Jim Rutherford, if you're willing to go that route. That would be very funny to me. I'm convinced at this point in his career, I don't know if he's a secret genius with like the things that he's doing to stir shit up around the Hughes brothers, or if he literally is like, these are the signs of dementia. Like, I don't know, but I'm really curious to see what he's going to pull out this summer in general.
Yeah, no, I might have to like subscribe to like every Vancouver beat writer, their fucking Twitter account, and just like watch the chaos ensue. I mean, he clearly doesn't give a fuck. He's down with tampering openly. The fact that he also ended that quote with like, that might be tampering though. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
And what are you doing?
Cosgrove, I knew. I'm actually disappointed you didn't comment this sooner.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that he ended it, too, that Alvin is just sitting there. He's like, please don't say the T word. Please don't say the T word. He's like, oh, I don't know. It might be tampering. Sorry. Like, God damn it, Jim.
Well, the camera also slowly panned out. And like, then like as Alvin came into frame, he was like, he like literally looked like he was about to explode. And then he started laughing. He was like, Jesus fucking
I'm actually upset, disappointed, offended that there wasn't someone at that press availability that had the ISO cam on Alvin as that was being done, that they could post to be like, by the way, guys, this is the expressions that we saw on Alvin's face across that entire topic.
It's like
numbers.
The only takeaway you can have from like the camera slowly panning out to Alvin is they probably talked about this 5 minutes before the presser started. Do not bring this up. 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 Brings it up unprompted.
Yep, it's good. But I don't know. Do you have any like strong opinions on where any of these coaches are going to end up?
I can't help but have a pretty like. I think the two that I'm like not necessarily like super confident, but like more than the others is like at least the possibility of David Carl going to New York, but like Sullivan back to Boston to me, like son-in-law is here, which is also very funny, but like also made it a point during the Four Nations tournament to like bring up how much he loved, like he's from here, so I'm just gonna say this in general, but like there were a few answers from like the Four Nations pressers where like he was going on and on about like coaching in Boston and like how much he loves the city, blah 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 blah. And I mean, again, like he was here way back, so it'd be fascinating to see him come back almost like 20 years later.
He's a Boston guy, in fairness. Now,
Mhm.
I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked Joe. By the way, everyone, Fellowship of the Rink already out, full mailbag episode. Do you feel like it's 0% at this point, or is there a chance, let's say the Wild lose the next 2 games, doesn't look pretty, whatever. Is there a world where Guerin does replace Hines with Sullivan, much like the Blues did? Again, different scenario, but still same idea. Like, holy shit, you just hired this guy and you're going to let him go? Well, yeah, because there's a better coach out there.
Right.
Because this is his chance. Like if Guerin's vision, because I always thought Sullivan would last another year at least before this happened. I really thought the plan was I just need to stall until Sully's available. Like that always felt real, even before all the Team USA stuff here for Four Nations.
I don't know. I mean, it still does feel drastically different than like the St. Louis situation with Montgomery and everything.
Fair.
But
it's also,
I mean,
similar.
I'm sure it's like, I mean, he's also like Guerin is not afraid to do things like this in the first place, but like, I don't know. I would be surprised, very surprised to be honest. But since it's Mike Sullivan, since there is that connection going back a long time, like I would say there's the chance is greater than 0%. But I would be very surprised. I would be regardless, unless like the next 2 games are a complete and utter shit show and everything goes wrong. And like
no chance that happens.
No, like to like beyond what
I
we
know.
could even imagine. I would be shocked if like they fired him this summer, anyways.
Like, imagine taking a guy who's like a top 3 goal scorer for you and burying him on the 4th line.
We'll get there.
He wouldn't do something that dumb, but
no, he would never do that.
all right. Any other, like, just on the coaching carousel, anyone else that warrants discussing or even just talking about the vacancy and like brainstorming, like, what the hell do they do? Like, anything you want to talk about with coaching?
Yeah, not really. To be honest, like, I kind of do wonder though if like, considering how bad this year went in New York, just how much like Laviolette's stock, because like before the last few times he's been hired, it's like it's the same commentary every year. He gets that first year bump, but this year was so toxic in New York. Like legitimately everything went wrong. You literally had like Calvin DeHaan saying that he got treated like shit the second their fucking season ended, like to the media people while he was walking by them, like, which is crazy. Like literally, like there was just nothing good going on in New York, and a lot of this shit was just like seemingly pretty avoidable, and like some of his quotes after games were crazy. I wonder if Laviolette's like actually really done like some serious damage to his stock. I mean, he's been around for forever. He's coached a ton of teams, but I don't know if there's I mean, it's the NHL, so he'll get another job at some point, probably.
Well,
but
there's also like 3 or 4 more Metro teams that he hasn't coached yet, so that's got to happen.
Yeah,
Fuck, he's gonna end up in Pittsburgh. God damn it. No, I get where you're coming from. I think anyone with a brain realizes that that's on the ownership and on Drury, like the way that the players.
Well, good thing they didn't extend him.
Yeah, well, exactly. They're lockstep with each other. Like they are the bad culture, which is crazy. That I never thought Chris Drury was going to be the problem, but the way that they handled those players being sent out again. There are things that were done by one of the players, being Trouba, that also kind of bullshit in Bush League, but still the way you did it and the way that players felt after, like none of them felt secure. You did that to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like that won't reflect too highly on Laviolette. I don't know. Is Laviolette the one that ruined Adam Fox? Is that what we're going to go with? Or was that? Nope. That was the Wild training staff too. Damn it.
Yeah, it's Team USA.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't think he's going to get a job necessarily for training camp, but I think he'll still be a guy that finds work at some point, especially if it's like a mid-season, I need to fix this because I have a playoff team that's currently not a playoff team kind of vibe. But it's a fair point. It's interesting to see, does this impact it? Like if he doesn't get a job in the next 3 years, I guess you're right.
We'll check back in 3 years.
Yeah, this will totally still be a podcast in 3 years.
Yeah. Still breathing.
We won't have gotten ourselves canceled by then.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out, by the way, 9 Mile Brewing, Current Obsession, delicious IPA. I'm about to crack a different beer open soon. But I guess with that, then, Mateo, cue us up. We're going into the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs.
I'll never get over the graphic. I'll never get over the graphic. I love the fucking crossing out the 4 clip art number 5.
Should we make hats with that on it?
I kind of want to.
All right. The Carolina Hurricanes and the New Jersey Devils are, in fact, playing in a Stanley Cup series. Mateo, who's next? Anything you want to talk about there? I don't know.
Just a few things on this series. First of all, I got to give the Devils at least a little bit of credit for the one game they have won so far. And even this last game, like, I mean, there have been stretches, where they get dominated. But, like, they really, like, that game 4, there were stretches where they were really hanging in there and playing well with such a depleted roster. And, I mean, I was pulling up, like, some of the line combos. Like, it's crazy just how good, at least, like, analytically, the Palat, Heishier, Meyer line has been obviously, like they've only got a few goals to show for it, but like they're like consistently driving play. Unfortunately, one of the lines they're going up against is like Hall, Kotkaniemi, and Svechnikov, which has been like a freak show. Like they are just driving play themselves. So it's been
What
like
a weird line, too.
Yeah.
Like
Taylor Hall has been really fucking good in Carolina. I love that for him. So good for him. And
Very
Svechnikov has just been a beast this series.
Like even if you knew that Hall was going to be on the team at some point, like you would have never convinced me that Svechnikov, Kotkaniemi, and Hall was going to be a line that would come together.
No, I know, yeah.
Or that would work this well. Like it's pretty crazy.
Right. But then the other thing I really wanted to at least touch on potential, and I haven't actually looked at the odds in a few days, but I feel like he might have pretty, as far as like values for a Conn Smythe, Jacob Slavin has to be someone that you could get a pretty good price on. Like he is playing unbelievable. That fucking goal he scored the other day.
Dude, if you blurred out the jersey, no chance that you're guessing that it was Slavin. No chance.
I mean, he's doing what he does pretty much game in, game out his whole career. He's just suffocating on D, plays a ton of minutes, like just defends unbelievably well. He's got a couple points, that great fucking goal he scored. And when you look at like their path, again, this is why like I think they still might have the best odds to win the cup. And a lot of that has to do with like the path that they have.
Their path is so good.
With the way that they play, that scoring's probably gonna be pretty like even throughout their lineup. He's gonna be playing like 30 minutes almost every single game. He's gonna be probably out and out their best player. So like I have to think for like Conn Smythe futures, like depending on what his price is, there might be some good value there.
Yeah, and before the hat trick, Svechnikov would have been an okay value too.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, that's fair. That's really all I got there. Besides, in the post-game availability that we've had from Brindamore, he hasn't been bumblefucking himself nearly as much as he has in years past, which makes me a little sad, but it'll come. It'll come.
Mm-hmm. It'll happen.
Oh, baby. Now we've got the Battle of Ontario. Will the Leafs get sensed?
It would be the best sensing we've seen. If they are able to turn this around. I mean, Brady Tkachuk told the crowd after game 4 that they're coming back here. So at least 6. It's crazy, like, because I feel like just watching this series in general, it's like even when Ottawa has a strong 5, 6, 7 minute push, it feels like the immediate answer is Leafs going the other way and scoring. And I actually keep forgetting that 3 of the 4 games have gone to overtime. Like I actually just keep forgetting that, which is crazy. And like the goals, these OT goals are just coming out of nowhere. It's a fascinating series. I need to go more than 5. More than I would. Yeah. I mean, I desperately need 7. You know that building in Toronto would be.
I would even settle for 6 at this point, though. Like getting another game in Ottawa and just seeing, like, because if it goes to a game 6, the doubt's already creeping in. Like the fans are going to show us by their absolute degenerate behavior on the Twitter machine. Like they are going to be unwell. They need to win game 5 and end this, or they're not going to be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I really thought just the way the series was going, even that game 4, I was like, no, like it's gonna be a sweep here. Because it was like they go up 2-0, give the lead up. Then fucking Toronto comes back with 3rd period again. Going into OT, I was like, I just have a nagging suspicion 45 seconds in, it's going to be Leafs ending it. And, like, they'll be all happy, and it'll be really annoying. So I got to tell you, the live streams post-game have been significantly less fun. It's way more funny when, like, the Toronto streams are very angry. And so but, like, you know, part of me is happy because we love our boy Zach. But I just need the fucking meltdown. Like, I just need it.
But I think he would say the same thing about the Bruins, and it wouldn't be directed at you. It's directed at the Bruins. Like, it's okay to say that and still be friends. But for me, you need them to be cocky and arrogant like they are now for the fall to really be appreciated. Like, if Ottawa came out and swept Toronto, like, sure, there'd be a lot of fun to be had with that. But you need them to be talking shit on top of the world. No chance we can lose to... oh fuck, it's happening again.
Yeah. Like, if let's say game 5, the Sens come out and just put the fucking boots to them and win like 5-0 in Toronto, I have a feel like it would be like, oh no, here we fucking go again. And like, I mean, I just need it to happen, but I don't know. I just feel like this Leafs team is different. Like, they've just had an answer for everything.
For sure.
Yeah, it really, like, the panic it's not there. Like, again, it probably is just me watching it through like the black and gold colored lens here. Every time they played the playoffs, where it was just like, even if they would have like a 5-minute stretch, you could, like, the building was like, oh fuck. It's so fucking funny. But this year they are just different. Like, you've got guys like Tanev, Carlo in the back end there. Stolarz has been fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, that's another one. I would imagine he probably doesn't even have great odds. And Matty Nyes is just a goddamn animal.
Hang on though. David Carl announces his decision to sign a 7-year mega deal with the Pittsburgh Penguins the day after Matty Nyes gets offer sheeted for 10.5.
Build the statue for Dubas.
Seriously, what are they going to have to pay? What will Toronto have to pay for Matty Nyes to be happy? Because it could be 8 figures.
I don't know, dude. It's like, he's as far as like a star forward goes, he has been the exact like prototype of forward that fan base has been praying for. Like, he's got the fucking grit. He is ridiculously skilled. Like, he came in, and once he finally got like ice time this year and like extended looks in that top 6, like, he's just the exact player that they've been looking for. Such a play. He plays like playoff hockey. Well, dude, for 82 games of the regular season. He's
basically an adopted Tkachuk, right? Like, instead of, I won't say he's a Tkachuk light. It's more like the Tkachuks are like hot Buffalo and he's medium Buffalo. Like, he's right behind him there.
Yeah.
I love him so much. I need him to be on a team I can cheer for.
Yeah, and you know who else has been unreal for Toronto, and like, especially for them, like a perfect 5-6 has been Simone Benoit. Has been really fucking good too. Another,
at least at the end of the game,
fucking hammer on the back. Yeah, well, but yeah, no, it's just a different Leafs team. It's like good for them, but also like it's less fun. Like, it's just like there's like just no panic yet, but who knows? We'll see after what happens at the game 5 here. But
I feel like that's necessary for it to be fun.
Yeah. But yeah.
Nice.
Jake Sanders been a fucking beast too. He's so goddamn good.
That is.
Yeah.
All right. Next up. Oh. Really?
I thought he was injured.
I definitely didn't know he was health bombed. That's
99% sure he was with an injury last game, but I don't know.
By the way.
Habs Caps. It's another one I needed to go 7. I don't think it's going to after game 4. That building, though, my God, like the Bell Center playoffs is an absolute electric factory.
Yeah.
And I mean, we'll get to like there's just the chaos of it all, especially like fucking Josh Anderson and Tom Wilson fighting in Washington's bench, which was amazing. But one quick comment that I feel like has to be made is like, and it actually will relate to something in Minnesota here in a second, but like Marty St. Louis' patience with Demidov
should be studied by all coaches in this fucking league. He looked absolutely atrocious the first 2 games. Did not like cut his ice time down all like crazy. Didn't scratch him. He left him in game 4. He got 2 assists. He looked unbelievable on those assists too. He's got all the confidence in the world. That's just how he plays every game. But he sticks with them, keeps playing them, and he comes up big there. Obviously, it didn't end up panning out in game 4 at the end, but like he looked great, and he was a constant factor on the puck. And there was that. It was I think it was the Caulfield goal, the go-ahead goal. It was like Lane Hudson to Ivan Demidov to Cole Caulfield, and I was like, fuck my life for the next 15 goddamn years. It was like, I am going to be miserable watching this happen in Boston for 15 fucking years. It was so sad. And Lane Hudson, again, he's just ripping it up. I knew he would be good in the NHL. I did not see like 60 assists coming. And I think he's right around a point per game at this point in the playoffs so far. He's been really good for them. It's crazy. Like, there's so many just young defensemen, regardless if they're big or small, that like clearly are intimidated by like big physical playoff hockey. He's young and he is small and he doesn't give a fuck. He is a baller. So very fun to watch and miserable to watch the young players on the Habs like thrive. Like Slavkovsky, we talked about this during the live stream when we were streaming game 4 of Minnesota Vegas. Slavkovsky's been awesome too. Like, he is an awesome hockey player. I thought he probably shouldn't have gone right from the draft into the NHL that first year. But since like year 2 on, he's been awesome. And like, he's a factor at both ends of the ice. Big, physical, another guy. He's not afraid of contact. He is super skilled. He's super smart. He's very fun to watch. But after that game 4, it just feels like Washington just has too much for them. And
I disagree.
Yeah.
Just because all it takes is winning 1 game for Montreal, and then, oh shit, you have to go back to the Bell Center, and that's a must win because no one wants a game 7. Like, I feel like Montreal has been in every single game. I don't care what the final score was in game 4. Like, that was a good hockey game up until the end when it got away from them. And Brandon Duhaim's not scoring 2 goals every game.
He was an animal game 4.
Yeah, he was.
God.
Good for him, by the way. If the Capitals go on a run, he will be the reason that I can get behind it and be happy. But your point on St. Louis, like, dude, look at their whole team. Like, Cole Caulfield, direct result of Martin St. Louis. Slavkovsky, like you mentioned. Guy like Newhook, which, by the way, I didn't post about it because I got to it way too late. I am obsessed with the celly or lack thereof after his goal. Literally just skating to the glass, deadpan stare, like literally Stonewall Jackson. Love that. Love that so much. But like Marty, you know, to an extent, I don't know how much I've like talked about it, but like you saw my shrine in my basement. Like, I love Marty St. Louis. Like, if I could make a line of my favorite players that aren't in the league anymore, it would probably be Mario Lemieux centering Marty and Phil Kessel.
Pretty nice.
It'd be a very fun line too. But can you the different body types across that line are insane, by the way. But I won't sit here and say that Marty is like a mastermind coach or like a top 5 coach in the league. I will say, if you have creative, offensive-oriented players that aren't producing, he'll fucking fix it. Because he even said from the beginning, like, the way that he coaches them is the way that he wanted to be coached, which is give me a structure, give me a framework to work within so that I kind of have, like, basic guardrails. I know, like, things that have to be done, but outside of that, create within it. Like, there is no firm structure. There is no firm, you have to do this in this situation. It's, hey, stay within these lines, but paint whatever the fuck you want within it. And I love that.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's like, this is how, especially with where the league's going, this is how you have to, at least should be working with young players, young skilled players with like obvious, clear, like certain flaws in their game as far as like the NHL play goes. But like you said, give them the baseline, give them like a foundational structure to work within, but then let them do the things that have made them successful at this point in their career. And you can tailor the rest along the way, but like let them be creative, let them play the way that they want to play. Like it's just how I think coaches have to start working with young players moving forward.
Do you know who the perfect coach is for the Anaheim Ducks?
Marty St. Louis.
Nope. I got an even better one, but it falls in a similar ilk, but it's also a coach that's not available.
No, I don't know who.
But involved in several cults, both as a leader and as a follower. It's more fun as a follower, but you make more money as a leader. Dean Evison would be the perfect fucking coach for the Anaheim Ducks. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
At least in this iteration, in this stage of them trying to come back. It'd be incredible. The real place that David Carl should go? San Jose. They are going in the right direction. The vibes, dude, all of the video content that's popping out now with Will Smith and Macklin Celebrini. Have you seen the stuff where like they were interviewed together on some podcast and it was them and Toffoli?
Yep. I just saw Toffoli's head in the background, like, it's like, oh, there he is.
When they ask, what animal do you think each other are? And immediately Will's like, dude, don't say something stupid. He's like, no, I'm good, man. Will's a donkey. Yeah, he's loud, says a lot, doesn't make a lot of sense. He's kind of dumb. It's like, what are you doing?
Thanks,
honestly,
man.
The two of them, the like weird random bromance, so good for that team and for the league. Like that is what we want from players, is it not?
Oh no, it is for sure.
Unapologetically themselves, and crazy that a BU and a BC boy are that tight.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw a different clip where like they asked Macklin Celebrini, he's like, I'll be honest, I hated him at first, but now we're really good friends.
Fuck. Yeah. That's good.
I love how we didn't even talk about Patrick Laine throughout this.
Yeah, is it a healthy? I feel like he is injured. But
I need that fact checked because I had no idea that he was being health bombed.
I thought it was he was hurt, but who knows?
I know he was definitely getting it like during the game, but don't know. We'll be fact checked. Mateo, you can tell us how wrong we are when you pull up your proof.
But just a few other things with this series. It has been very funny watching Ryan Leonard get more and more comfortable being an absolute dickhead. Like he's like just Tom Wilson's protege, dude. And I mean, it often gets exaggerated, like that hit turned this series around, but that fucking Tom Wilson hit on Alex Carrier legitimately directly led to that game-winning goal.
What do you think though about that
game-winning goal? I didn't think it was. I mean, it was a fucking massive hit. I guess was a concern. I think was more like. So I don't know. Didn't Carrier? I mean, Carrier got up slowly and like made his way over the bench. So I think there are people upset that like the play didn't get
that's
down.
just the result of being hit hard. My question is, have we seen a second angle? Because I've only seen one angle, and it's really hard for me to tell if it was a headshot or not.
No, he got him square. It was like
okay. Then
I didn't have any problem with that.
For the first time in history, I have no problem with what Tom Wilson did.
It was insane. Like literally, I watched that in slow motion, and I could feel it. Just watching it, and the fact that the first thing that hit the ice was his head was scary. But like that was one of the biggest hits. Especially
the way his head launched, I just couldn't tell for sure. And that's been my issue with his existence. I love the way he plays the game in general. He has literally gone out of his way on multiple occasions to hit someone in the head. And I don't have any patience for it, partially because I am a multiple concussion survivor, but like he could kill people without doing that. So why do that? Like the Zach Aston Reese one, anyone that tries to defend what Tom Wilson did, you have a spot reserved for you in hell. Like, he's had so many scumbag hits, and it makes me more mad because he does not need to. He could kill people with clean hits to the chest. So why not just do that instead of being a dipshit and going around and hitting people in the head? Like that's it. That's my whole argument. Like everyone's like, oh, you'd love to have him on your team. Of course I fucking would. Are you kidding me? Yes, I would. Who wouldn't? But if he was on my team and he was running around hitting people in the head, I would condemn him. Like I don't have time for that. But if this one was truly a hit to the chest, bravo him.
You know that, like, let's say Washington somehow pulls this off, wins a cup this year, and he is double-digit goals. You know how many fucking hockey writers are we going to be salivating over the opportunity to give him the fucking Conn Smythe just for that hit alone, and that's it.
It's a good reason.
Like, then that game 4 hit.
Did you see the
first round against the wild card team?
Did you see the post-game availability with him and Thompson?
No.
They just asked Thompson, like, hey, like, I know we've been asking him a lot of the questions, like, how much does he mean to your team? And Thompson looks over, he's like, I don't need to inflate this guy's head anymore, but yeah, he's fucking huge. And then, like, keeps on, like, talking and saying how, like, much he helps the team and how he's a leader. And then all of a sudden he like, as soon as he's done talking, he looks over at Wilson, just goes,
I love that shit, dude.
Fact check. Mateo screwed up. Hey, you know what? Accountability is key. Kudos to you, Mateo. But yeah, he did. Okay, fair. But yes, interesting series. And yeah, the Tom Wilson stuff will always be polarizing because, again, he's earned the reputation with some of his history, but the guy, you want that on your team every goddamn time. Like he is a unicorn in today's NHL.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. He's like, I mean, he is, when you can get like especially this year, he did score 30, right? For the first time. And I mean, he's like, in today's NHL, he is the unicorn as far as like an apex predator that scores 30. Like you want,
hey,
fucking crazy.
You be careful over there, Judd Brackett.
Look at he's yeah.
I'm a great white. I'm an apex predator. God damn it. I love that answer. Like he was so ready for it too. He's like, I'm so glad you asked.
Yeah, I know. One more thing on this series though. One thing I really didn't expect as far as like the Capitals go is like how well a guy like Anthony Beauvillier would play, or would like how big of a role he would play. He slots into that top line.
I thought he would.
He has a couple goals. I mean, like, you know who would love to have him? And I mean, at this point, they're back in the series anyways, but like outside of Edmonton's like top line, Anthony Beauvillier's speed and a guy that could cash in some goals like in your middle six, I'm sure they would love to have him too. But like I did not expect Beauvillier to be like this much of a factor for them, especially in the playoffs. And again, the fact that like with Protas out, like he slots into that top line and plays this well, like he's been huge for them.
Fair. See, I didn't see that coming, but I did think that was a brilliant pickup. And granted, I have the benefit of foresight given the back-to-back championships that I watched in 16-17.
Yeah.
It's the Carl Hagelin effect.
Yeah.
Like, and it's crazy because, of course, the two players that I actually liked as Rangers, but I couldn't admit, that then left, and I needed so badly to be a Penguin. I got one of them in Carl Hagelin. Unfortunately, the other one ended up going back to the Rangers. Fuck you, JT Miller. But dude, the speed is such a difference maker. And that's not to say that being fast is like all it takes, but you've seen the flashes of skill from him in the past. Like you knew that if he got the right opportunity, it could happen. Now, did I think he'd be vaulted to the first line and doing what he's doing? No. Like I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, but did I think that him being picked up from Pittsburgh was a super savvy move? Yeah, I did. That's a guy that is a great depth add for a playoff run, no doubt.
Yeah, that's where I kind of like when that move happened, I was like, you know what? Like it's not necessarily going to be like a game breaker per se, but as far as like a guy that like just look at his track record as far as like he's not only like I think he's got one or two, he's got a couple of 20-goal seasons in general, but like when the Islanders made a couple runs of the playoffs, he scored that huge goal against Tampa. But I mean, he's scored in the playoffs in the past, and again, he can like slot in up and down your lineup, fill a role, and like do a job for you. Yeah, it makes sense. You don't want to like they didn't need to go out and obtain like a 25-30 goal score to like whatever. They just needed a guy that they could plug in if they have some injuries that can go up and down your lineup. And he does have some scoring touch, but like he's been better, like significantly better, and played a bigger role than I thought he would. Especially with how good Protas was this year with that injury, the fact that you can slot, which like the opposite frame. Like Protas is a massive fucking 6'6", 200 whatever pound, like just bull. But then you have like a slight Anthony Beauvillier who flies around the ice, but he's just got some legit touch. He's been great for them. He's been really, really fucking good, especially right here in the playoffs.
I feel like we need Cosgrove to just like somehow become our meme guy. And right there with what you just said, all I got was Step Brothers. Had the old bull. Now I want the young calf. Oh, God damn it. All right. Moving on
also
to...
last thing, the actual last one on this series, though, and this is like real quick. I don't even know why I thought it was so funny, but I don't know if I can't remember if it was game 3 or game 4, but like the Jacob Chychrun fucking like back scratching clap bomb from like 12 feet away was outrageous. It was like he was basically in the crease and he was like full just unleashed an absolute bomb from like 12 feet away. I was like, holy shit, dude. But anyways, I don't know why it made me laugh, but it did.
Cosgrove, you can go to hell, by the way.
Yeah, no.
Outrageous comment. Yeah, all right, we can move on to the next one then. But yeah, great comment. Battle of Florida, which is underway as we watch. 0-0 game, but Tampa's got the power play with 9:41 left as I speak in the first period. There's a lot to unpack here, but we're just getting right into the juicy stuff off the bat, Z. How is the Tkachuk hit not suspended?
This is something that has blown my mind ever since he got to Florida. And it's like beyond like, I'm not saying he has like fucking 5 hits a game where you're like, that's going to be a suspension and he gets away with it. But it's like stuff from like clear goaltending interference goals that he's like, he beats up a goalie before he takes him out of the crease. They scored and they're like, that's a good goal after review. It's fine. Who's Matthew? What are we going to call the fucking penalty? No way. I cannot believe he didn't get anything. Well, the one thing is the fact that he got him square. Like it wasn't a headshot. But for me, I'm going to have to go watch it again. But because to me, the thing that was so like that made the hit so bad, it was Gensel let go of the puck. And then Tkachuk looked like he went and engaged the hit. It was after he let go. And like, yes, it's the playoffs. You know you're playing the Panthers. You can't watch your pass. But at the same time, like, I can watch the pass I made like 2 minutes ago. I feel like that's fine to do. But it was just the fact that he engaged the hit. Where is he? Like, it again, like, I'm going to have to, because I haven't watched it since. But like, it really did look like Gensel let go of the puck. Like was watching his Pats, and then Tkachuk dipped the shoulder and fucking changed the like his skating angle. It blew him up.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, the fact that Gensel gets up, I guess probably because it's the NHL factors in. So like, Hale gets that one because like Barkov was hurt up. I'm not saying I'm just guessing, but like,
no. Well,
it was crazy. It was like
exactly
so
why it didn't happen, but it still pisses me off. What happened off of the Hagel hit? What was the result?
He got the 5, and then did he get a game?
He got a game. What was worse, that or Tkachuk's hit?
That hit was bad.
Yeah, no, I agree. Hagel's hit was worse. They said, well, Hagel's is worse, so we can't give it the same penalization, which I think is the biggest crock of coward bullshit ever. Like, they're like, well, we can't make this a 1 since that was a 1 because this one wasn't as bad. It's like, he still did something ridiculous. And I would argue it could even be a retaliation, sending a message for the hit on Barkov. you need to suspend that play for the safety of the rest of this series, because you just basically gave free reign for people to go and take liberties however the fuck they want. Because that was a bullshit hit, coward chicken shit hit by Matthew Tkachuk well after the pass was made. I have zero respect for it. Hagel's hit was still worse, absolutely. But that needed to be suspended because I could see the next couple games getting out of hand because the decision that was made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I mean, even like without the Hagel context, it's like, what do you think he was doing? Like, they're about to like really ice the game into an empty net. Like, the game was pretty much over already, but it was definitely about to be over once they scored in the empty net too. Like, even that one's him blowing someone up well after the play when they weren't looking, like on purpose. Like, he had one goal. He was to fucking kill that guy. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to spend.
Yeah, we can move past that one.
It was crazy.
Vent on it.
I like, again, my immediate reaction was that they have to give him one game for it. But then there was a small break, like, well, it's Tkachuk. Like, this is like the shit that I feel like he probably might get away with here. But
embarrassing.
We'll see how this game goes. But thank God, Tampa not only won Game 3, but like really, it was an authoritative win. Really stamped down and just like dominated that game, start to finish. I was nervous that we were going to get another quick series for a second there. Yeah. Florida, unbelievably impressed with the fact that they were doing this, like limping into the playoffs, so few healthy games with their full roster. Tkachuk comes in, and again, not talking about him, he's just been an absolute beast so far, putting up points. That fucking first goal from Sam Bennett, that tipping goal, was legitimately outrageous. That first goal of the series was insane. How he did.
Who's going to make more this offseason, Bennett or Nyes?
I mean, it's got to be nice, dude.
I don't know, dude. Hang on. Which one will Toronto pay more?
yeah. That's the real question.
By the way, someone commented when I made a post about it saying, like, Kyle Dubas, I don't even care at this point. Give him the moon, but bring Matty Nyes here on an offer sheet. And someone replied, like, no, he's staying, but you can have Marner. I'm like, okay, sure. Oh. I accept.
Like, yes, that also
crazy
is
comment.
Yeah,
but this is this for a series that seemed over after 2 games. Like, this is still the series that I'm either most or second most interested in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
And it makes me sick that Matthew Tkachuk's hit not being suspended makes me very, very supportive of Tampa. Like, I want Tampa to win now because fuck him, even though it wasn't him that made the decision on the suspension, right? Like, that's how my brain works. It's not rational, but I can explain it.
Mm-hmm. The one thing that one of the takeaways from this series,
just commenting whatever shows up on the screen. Like, he literally commented this, and immediately after it showed up on my screen, so he must just be ahead of me. But like, right as he typed this, I look up at the screen and it just popped up. Reinhart has 40 power play goals over the last 2 years.
He's been top 2 or 3 in power play goals, 5-on-5 goals, and shorthanded goals the last couple of years. Like, he's just been ripping.
He was always a great fucking player. Yeah. Buffalo can't help themselves. Now, people will forget. Biz does BC. Right. Some of the funniest shit when he shows up to meet up with Reinhart and is like sad and disappointed because he thought Eichel was coming with him. And then they ride the tandem bike.
Yeah. I like, but like on Florida, the one thing that's like been half annoying me is like, I think despite the fact that maybe he has maybe 1 assist so far, maybe 2, but like, I think Brad Marchand has actually been really good in like their line's pretty suffocating as far as like expected goals against, but like him playing with Luosterainen and Lundell, like it's weird. It fits as far as like getting the job done on the ice, but there's just not a whole lot of like
offense between the three of those guys. And I don't know if it's just like they play such a sound, responsible game that like Marsh. I think he's playing in like the appropriate minutes, or whatever. But like, I wish I was getting more Marchand like
fair
while scoring. There was after that Hagel hit on Barkov, the camera went right to the fucking Florida bench, and the three guys basically trying to jump over the boards where Marchand fucking Kachuk and Bennett. I was like, oh my god,
which one of them is Kenny Wu? And now I gotta say, and I'm probably speaking out of place because I'm not going to pretend, especially this season, that I've watched any of the three as closely as others. I feel like that line is, sure, they're all responsible defensively, but I feel like they're all facilitators too. Like, who do you point at on that line as the goal scorer?
Yeah, it would probably be Marchand, to be honest with you.
Right. Which Marchand, noted goal scorer throughout his career. Like, I just think that that's a line that is missing the go-to shooter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, that's really it. Like, they're all good in their own right, and they all fit and can like support an offensive line. You got to have a guy that's going to pull the trigger, and I don't think they have that.
Yeah, it's like, because as far as like their 5v5 minutes go, they're the second most utilized line. And it's just like very low event hockey, very like responsible hockey. I think their numbers probably don't even like look great, but like there's pretty much zero expected goals going on in either direction, like in the minutes that they're on the ice, which makes it's an interesting. Like they're getting those tough matchups. So I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like I love Lundell, I love Marchand. Luosterain's just like he fills a role so well.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
He's gonna like make the odd play here and there that you notice. Other than that, he's kind of just like doing his job. Which at this point in this line in this system, like that's like the whole line in general. But my whole day is like I was kind of hoping that we'd see like the full rat trio. Like he's just going nuts every game.
That'll happen at one point. There'll be a game where they're completely out of it. Like Tampa's up by 3, and they're gonna be like, all right, you 3 go.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, I need to know what I said to piss off or offend Cosgrove, because he's just been coming at me with personal shots in the chat all night. Hates Step Brothers, hates Gensel, hates Addison. It's the only way that I can make sense of the 59 comment. Going after everything I care about. Mm-hmm. I just want to know, Cosgrove, please tell me what I did to you. Or we can go Always Sunny, Z. Charlie, show us on the doll. Where did I hurt you, man? God damn it. 6.5 out of 10 for an elite cinematic experience is absolutely hate. How dare you? 6.5 out of 10 is a failing grade. I suppose I should put that on because no one else saw it. 6.5 out of 10 does equal hate. How dare you? All right. Anything else in the Battle of Florida besides let's all see how Game 4 plays out before we can really have much of an opinion?
Yeah, no, it's at this point that the Game 3 was massive as far as like where the series goes. It's interesting that
balancing power.
It's been the away game. It's been the away team in all 3 so far. Again, so far through like 18 minutes of this first period here, it's 6-4 in shots. I think they both had 1 or 2 power plays maybe. But yeah, pretty surprising results though. It feels like they've been like just blowouts, which is interesting.
I just polished White Van Superman from Loose Line, delicious IPA. For whatever reason, Florida makes me want to flip the words and go White Man Supervan. It also gives me just a full image of like a van that has no windows and rumors of puppies or candy. I don't know, but yeah. White Van Superman, delicious from Loose Line Brewing out in Plymouth.
The biggest and like another huge takeaway from this is the fact that Florida has been able to just suffocate the Lightning power play too. I think they're clicking right now like 7% on the power play, and then I think Florida's like 30. So, I mean, all year long, the Tampa power play was legitimately just like borderline unstoppable with Kucherov doing his thing. Florida, obviously, the fact that they've been able to like dominate the special teams battle here has been huge.
For sure. Cool. All right, Mateo, what do we got next? Oh, boy. I'll let you lead off on this one because I have plenty of thoughts, but you'll probably overlap several.
So, Winnipeg, St. Louis, the energy and vibes from this series, from the time they dropped that puck, has been absolutely incredible.
Is it fair to say the best series that no one gives a fuck about?
Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, sure.
Like league wide, not a series that people really care about that much. And it's incredible hockey. And I would dude, St. Louis has borderline been the better team for most of this series. Winnipeg has just come through at a couple key moments in the first two games. I think Winnipeg is fortunate to be tied 2-2 right now. And I think they're absolutely in danger of my prediction coming true. Blues in 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
I love this take from Cosgrove. Hellebuck hates Canada. He didn't have any problems playing well in Four Nations when he represented his country. Get him out of Winnipeg now. Well, I guess that'll happen via relocation to Atlanta. But can you imagine being relocated from Atlanta to Winnipeg and then Winnipeg back to Atlanta? That would be incredible and horrible at the same time.
Yeah, I got to pull up the actual.
Well, you pull that up.
Here.
Complete side tangent, but I absolutely love. I've been a little annoyed lately of Heater, the Danny Heatley All-Star account, whatever. That guy gets a little weird, especially now that him and Schmaltz are doing their thing. But when he came out and said, yo, does anyone actually call Anson Carter Ace, or does he just refer to himself as that? Like, hey, Ace chiming in. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I've been thinking this for a long time and never thought to actually post about it. But yes, there's no way anyone calls him Ace. He just calls himself Ace and made his own nickname. And I bring that up because he's the guy that's trying to bring hockey back to Atlanta. So full circle.
There you go. I don't know why I can never find Dom Luszczyszyn's Twitter account.
Because you can't spell his last name, which is understandable.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't even come up as. Because he put out like the actual stat, the Hellebuck stats. It is mind-boggling.
What's crazy to me, I don't think there's been a single whistle since I said there was 9:43 left because the period's almost over, and I feel like it's been like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, what did he say? I need to hear the actual numbers because it is gnarly that I think it's an absolute crime against the league if he's not the Hart Trophy winner this year. Yet he has looked not superhuman, one word, super space human or super comma space human. He's been very human in this postseason, and it's not his fault. He's definitely been lacking some of the play in front of him, but you gotta be better than that, man. With how good he is, it's pretty disappointing. And the reason, along with how good the Blues were playing coming in, that I picked the Blues to win the series.
This is going to drive me crazy, but I don't know why I can't find this.
Did he delete it? Did he get canceled?
Maybe it was JFresh. Well, you would think I would have had it saved because I remember thinking like, this is...
All right, I'll help you here. We'll double up on it.
It's good podcasting.
Who can spell Luszczyszyn?
No, I pulled up. I couldn't find it in his, but whatever.
What's not in his? Oh, shit.
It's going to be really annoying, the fact that I cannot fucking find this. But either way, it's like it was like during the regular season and now the difference between like goals saved above.
Was it a graphic or was it a post that listed it all out?
It was, it was the full on, it was both of them.
Like, it is unbelievable that this year. So I mean, like, yeah, there you go. Like this year is like save percentage is right around 925. I think the regular season, and he's below. I think he's like 815 in the playoffs again this year. And like the graph for the last 3 years between regular season and the playoffs is. I don't understand what happens. And like you said, they've been bleeding chances in front of him. At the same time, he's been getting beat short side. He's been getting beat from distance, like breakaway goals. Like it's he's getting beat in every way possible. And I don't understand how it happens.
Oh, Mateo on top of it.
One. There it is. It is insane.
He posted it yesterday, Z. How did you not find it when you scrolled his timeline?
I don't know.
All right. Yeah, over the last 3 seasons, Connor Hellebuyck has allowed 15.2 goals above expected in 14 games. The next worst goalie, Stuart Skinner, is at minus 5.6. Absolutely insane.
I just don't know what happens. But right now, St. Louis is actually playing a very fun brand of hockey where it's like hit everything that moves and score 7 goals a game. And I'm pretty sure this is what I said to the live stream too. Every single time I've looked at the TV, watched this game, looked away, and then looked back, there's either been a goal being scored, a fight happening, a scrum happening, or like whatever. Like the camera goes to Montgomery and he's like laughing. It's just something insane. And then like a Connor Hellebuyck graphic comes up on the TV. It's been just like nonstop high event hockey from start to finish. And I love that it's all knotted up again. That's at the same time with the way it's going. I'm nervous. It really might be St. Louis in 6 here, but the building's rocking in St. Louis. I mean, obviously in Winnipeg, both buildings have been like just nonstop volume because like there is constantly something happening at all times. Like I just said, like the high event hockey is always fun to watch, especially in the playoffs. But like, yeah, it's unbelievable to me that we continue to have the Hellebuyck playoff question. Like it is legitimately mind blowing because like he's just become the story now. And I don't understand it. I just don't. And like this, because I do think also like the team in front of him looks way different. Like they do have a lot of really nice pieces that like can contribute throughout their lineup and give you depth scoring. Like a guy like Adam Lowry also is built for playoff hockey. Like he rocks. But it's just like it's unbelievable to me that the conversation without fail is always going to come down to what Connor Hellebuyck you're going to get at this point. Like he's almost cementing we know what we're going to get. Like it's going to be borderline shit show.
Well, dude, you want to hear a stat that I did not expect to see? And this comes from the esteemed MNCAA account on Twitter. Jimmy Snuggerud in game 4 played 1608. Third among Blues forwards behind Robert Thomas, 1758, and Pavel Buchnevich, 1621. I did not see that in Jimmy Snuggerud's immediate future.
He has been so fucking good. He's been really, really, really good.
I thought it would take him longer to adapt. I knew, like, you have to put him out there on the power play, kind of like a Zeev Boyum, right? Like, he will execute there. What will happen everywhere else? And dude, he's clearly proven himself right away. And again, him and our boy Rick Dvorsky are going to make it super conflicting for me to watch Blues games because I guess hate isn't right, but like I've been conditioned to dislike the Blues, and I love those two players so much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do. I don't.
Yeah, another thing that I didn't see coming in this series too is like how much offense St. Louis is getting from their back end. Like to your point, well, just talking about that in game 4, there's one defenseman on St. Louis that didn't register at least 1 point, and it would have been the last player I would have guessed. It was Philip Broberg was the only defenseman who didn't get a point in St. Louis. Like Nick Leddy, Cam Fowler, Colton Parayko, who's also been awesome in this series. Justin Falk and Tyler Tucker all score. Like I had a big issue with their back end, especially producing offense like pretty much the whole year. In this series, it's just been they're producing pretty much every game. Like they're getting scoring from everywhere. Robert Thomas has been awesome. Buchnevich has been a beast.
And again, the fact that they're getting like this much scoring from their defensemen that I really never would have like pegged in the first place. Again, probably also goes to like the Connor Hellebuck question, like they're scoring from deep. It's just, again, I thought this would be a low scoring series. Whoops. Hand up, my bad. But it's just been incredible. It's just absolute must-watch TV every single game.
Here. Mateo, where are we going? Ho! I don't know if wagon is the word I would use for either team in this series. I feel like it's like two wagons that are on a collision course with each other. Hand up, so goddamn wrong. The demise of the Dallas Stars was greatly exaggerated by myself. I really thought, like, it wasn't even the Robertson thing. Like, that was just the cherry on top. No Heiskanen and a objectively brutal fucking blue line scared the shit out of me. And Thomas Harley has basically emerged as the next Heiskanen. And Dallas has been competitive, even with a lot of their horses not pushing, including the Clydesdale that is Mikko Rantanen. I am fascinated with this series. It makes no sense to me. I thought Colorado was going to dispense of them. Not necessarily like, oh, they're going to blow them out every game, but I thought they'd find a way to win 4 or 5 out of the first 5 games. And Dallas has absolutely proven me wrong. And I'm fascinated to see this one play out. This is the one that's right there with the Florida series of the 2 series that I am far and away the most interested in.
Yeah, I mean, I think I feel a lot better about my, like, I think I said Colorado in 6. I can't even remember at this point.
I confidently said Colorado in 5.
Yeah. I mean, game 4 made me a lot more confident in that decision. First of all, it is unbelievable that Gabriel Landeskog comes back after almost fucking 3 years. That building was insane. Obviously, the whole warm up and the anthem and all that leading up to that, the drop of that puck of the game 3. But then game 4, he scores 1, 2. But also on that Landeskog, that first goal that he scored this series, that what a play from fucking Brock Nelson, like picking the puck up and just flying up the ice. I swear to God, everyone goes to Colorado and instantly becomes like the fastest fucking man in the world. I swear they do this every goddamn time. He's the fastest fucking kid in the world. But
Cosgrove, we need you to be our memes guy. What's it going to take? Because you would crush that role.
Yeah.
Continue.
But I thought Colorado played about as complete of a hockey game they could in game 4. They've got the feel-good story with Landeskog coming back and scoring now. And with him on the ice, I just pulled up their 5-on-5 stats. Like, he is by far and away, as far as like shot totals at 5v5, was like individual players on ice. It's like 77% of the shots are coming from Colorado. The fact that you can come back after almost 3 years and legitimately be an impact player, not just like complimentary on your line, but legitimately an impact forward, is unbelievably impressive.
It was in the second game.
They got just like a really good performance all around the lineup in that game 4. And this is like, after those first few games you and I talked about it too, where it's like, I still feel like Colorado just has too much. And like for Dallas, they borderline have to play like a perfect hockey game almost.
How far are Heiskanen and Robertson? Are either of them potentially back soon?
I feel like I thought I saw that it was maybe they were.
I thought Heiskanen was expected to be back late in the series if it reached that point, but that's as much as I've seen. Because I feel bad. Zero disrespect intended, but it'll probably be taken disrespectfully. I have no fucking clue who to follow for Dallas Stars info. Like, do they have like a beat writer? Do they have someone that's like covering the team closely, or is it like a bunch of fan accounts? I don't know.
I actually used to listen to their, this is a couple of years ago. They do a, because it used to be almost every NHL team had like a podcast or The Athletic or whatever. I used to listen to theirs like all the time. I can't remember because they used to have Daryl Rowe, their color commentary guy, who is one of my favorites in the league. He is Daryl Rowe, Razor, dude. He is the best, dude. He's so funny.
Is he as good as Randy?
they're comparable.
Okay. Wow. All right. Sold.
But either way, I still think, again, just after the game 4 especially, I still feel like Colorado just has too much firepower all throughout their lineup, but they do still end up getting it done. I'm feeling significantly less confident in 6, probably still in 7. But it's also just been very fun hockey to watch, like late game swings, those first couple games. I got like Colin Blackwell, love the story from him too, scoring that OT winner.
For sure, getting overpaid this summer. Good for him.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Anytime they can get paid, love it. Good kid.
By the way,
Massachusetts kid, good kid.
Not happy with Colorado and Dallas for bringing this to be, but Blackwood and Blackwell definitely fucks with my brain whenever someone like talks about either one. I'm just like, wait, who? Oh, got it.
Yeah, right. But where else was I going here? Where was it? I had one more stat.
If Dallas had Heiskanen back and like had one other defenseman with a pulse, I'd be on the Dallas train. Their blue line is so disappointing to me that it's really hard to get on board with thinking that they can go on a run. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I have been at the forefront of the Dallas Stars support train for the last couple of years. And this year I was just like, wait, Matt Dumba's playing in your top 4? I'm out. No way.
Yeah. And I mean, they just really, really need to get way more out of that Granlund, Hintz, Rantanen line, like way more, obviously. Especially at 5v5. But yeah, at the other day, I think
it's everyone else's fault.
Yeah, there you go. I think Colorado just has too much firepower, and going potentially the whole first round without Heiskanen and Robertson, even if they come back for game 6 or 7 or whatever. Like, I just think Colorado just has too much to offer. And I mean, both goaltenders this series have been awesome too, by the way.
Can we agree that whoever wins this will probably dismantle whoever emerges between Winnipeg and St. Louis? That's not even to be disrespectful. It's not about those teams being lacking. It's just how good these two teams are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about dismantle as far as like, I don't think it'll be a dominating series.
5 or 6 games, regardless.
I'm still going minimum 6.
Tell you what, when we see what the matchup is, the bet will be that 6 is a wash. 5 goes to me, 7 goes to you.
Perfect. Works for me.
Anything else on this series?
Nope.
All right, Mateo. That brings us to Edmonton, LA, which holy fuck. What? There's so much to unpack with this one. I don't know where you want to go with it, but I'm going to follow your lead because I could go a million different directions and we'll be on here for the next 3 hours. So you take us in a direction. I'll try and stay relatively on the tracks.
LA may have just fucked themselves. It's like legitimately losing that game 4 the way they did is legitimately unforgivable.
Well,
so
is that better or worse than just the challenge of the goal?
Yeah, that was a crazy challenge.
How about the reaction too?
Yeah.
To the question post game of like, hey, have you considered changing what you do in third periods since you dominate in first periods and get absolutely caved in third periods? And he got fucking pissed.
Yeah, he was mad about it. So that's what I was going after this.
Oh, you love that question, don't you? And of course, the response that's going around from everyone is like, I too love this question.
Well, it's the most like the decisions that are being made here are fucking crazy from LA. Like, clearly they were like they're having success in those first and second period, like pressing, staying aggressive, continuing to go for offense. Then they sit back in the third, they ice like 12 total fucking skaters, bench the rest, and are shocked that fucking Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl are capable of just like scoring at will when you let them just those two. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, I looked at the total ice time. I gotta pull up the game for it. It's mind blowing. Like,
the fact that they really think they can just sit in and absorb for 20 minutes and not like give up at least one goal, and especially when you look at how much they're using Doughty and Gavrikov right now. And then I think the two other defensemen had like maybe 10 minutes. Like I think Brandt Clark had that like bad turnover that led to one of those goals. He pretty much gets benched. He ends up in that overtime. I think he played it's total ice time after the game. I think it was still like 12 minutes, maybe. And I mean, obviously, like they're gonna struggle. Like the guys like Doughty and Gavrikov, when you play them 37 minutes, like they're gonna struggle at the end of a long shift where like Edmonton clearly like was just planning Bouchard at the blue line, who was just like knocking pucks back in for McDavid and Draisaitl to go ham for like 2 more minutes of fucking zone time. Like obviously, like they're not gonna be at full energy or whatever. And it's like this is exactly what's gonna happen. I think they had 2 guys play 2.5 minutes in game 4. Yeah, Malott played 227. Trevor Lewis played 519. Sam Helenius played 144. Those are 3. That's their 4th line. And I mean, Brandt Clark, 12 minutes. Moverari played 2.5 minutes, one of their defensemen, in that game 4. Like, what? So you're playing Edmondson 36 minutes, Doughty 33, Mikey Anderson 34, and Gavrikov 31. Against Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, like, what the fuck do you think's going to happen? And also, do you really think that you're going to be able to turn it on in overtime when you've basically just sat back and absorbed, like, just relentless attack from Edmonton? You think you're just going to get up and, like, change in fucking overtime? No. I think in game 4, Edmonton had 33 shots between the third period and overtime on goal. I think it may have been more than that, to be honest with you. Like, it's mind-blowing, some of the decisions they're making. And Evan Bouchard is just a fascinating defenseman. So, like Cole just said, I think a Pee-wee could defend better than Evan Bouchard. Same time, like, let him be aggressive. Let him just be an absolute, like, unpredictable fucking animal on the ice. Like, no rules, do whatever. Because, I mean, he's also just producing offense, which is fascinating.
He's just Paul Coffey. That's all he is. Paul Coffey reincarnated.
It's very funny to watch. But this Edmonton team without Ekholm is so flawed.
Did you just call them this Edmond team? Because I love that.
No, I can though. This Edmond team. Edmonton, this is so flawed without any speed in their bottom 6 or whatever, 3rd and 4th lines. And without Ekholm, they are leaning on like probably like Brett Kulak could play 40 minutes and defend for you. I just don't understand how LA's invited this back in. I mean, the signs were there even in that fucking game 1. They gave up that massive lead the 3rd period and fortunately somehow come back and win it. Not come back, but like score immediately after giving up that 5-5 goal or whatever. There's no way that this should be 2-2. I feel like every game in itself has been a 7-game series. Like, there's the range of emotions, like every fucking game. It's unbelievable. It's must-watch TV. I can't tell if I'm obsessed with it or I'm like, I kind of want a little bit, like some normal hockey, maybe. But like, they're having success when they just let their fucking forwards cook and just produce offense. But they refuse to do it. They really sit back in that fucking 3rd period. It blows my mind. I don't understand it.
Yep. And I also, oh yeah, Cosgrove's right. There's definitely a fly or something that's on the lens of that camera. Very funny. Yeah, I never thought that I'd say this, but Darcy Kemper might be the only blameless player. Like, I really had him as one of the big reasons that I just cannot trust LA. He played pretty well. He had almost as many saves in overtime as he did in regulation, which is crazy.
Yeah, there it is. I pulled it up now. They literally 3rd period shots were 16-6 Edmonton's favor. In overtime, 17-7. Like, gosh, it's mind blowing. I don't understand.
So how are shots 7-7 2 minutes into the 2nd period in Tampa versus Florida? Pretty wild.
Not weird, wild.
equally, no, not wild, weird is
Not wild, weird.
how the fuck does Leah Hextall still do what she does? I don't understand. I'll never understand.
Yeah. I love how angry people get about it.
I'm not mad. I'm confused.
No, people get, no, I'm saying like the people that get angry. I'm like, this is very.
Oh, there's a lot that get angry, but it's even funnier when people like come into the defense and it's like, women belong in sports. It's like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if she had a penis, I don't want her doing this. Period. Like
Either way.
Yeah, like I don't care if she's a man. If she was a man, just as bad.
Yeah.
There's plenty of great women covering hockey. She's not one of them.
Let me pull this one up. On the positives for LA though, my God, Adrian Kempe. Oh my God. Like
I didn't even have to wait.
But also Kevin Fiala has been fucking incredible. He also hit, I think, post and crossbar twice in that game 4 too. Like that sucks. Quentin Byfield, that fucking wasn't it the game 1 goal? We went backhand, forehand shelf from in tight. He's been really fucking good. And Philip Deneau, after producing borderline 0 offense in the regular season, he has been outstanding. And
that's not even his job, though. Like he is there to be a bottom 6 defensive-minded center, and he was always going to be awesome at that. And the offense is gravy.
Yep. I mean, he's got 7 points in 4 games. But I mean, like since he's gone to LA, he's still produced he's a 50-point guy pretty much every year. He's like the perfect third line center. That's just how he's always been. But I mean, he's just playing unbelievably well this postseason so far. Like it's just they've had so many individual solid performances. It's just like it's the way they get.
A shame that they can't get over the hump when Edmonton's at their lowest.
And like the fact that they're like this could have been there have been points in all 4 of these games where like this looks like a sweep right now, and then they just invite an absolute they let the damn burst in the third period without fail, like by design. like the one team in the fucking league that I really don't want to do that against is the Edmonton Oilers, and they're like that fuck it. Like, whatever.
How could we know?
But it feels like that the game 4, like it has to be just so fucking deflating. And they better just stay the best fucking team in the league at home if they want to win the series. But right now, like it feels like they've just been absolutely crushed. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's fair. And God damn it, I can't believe that Cosgrove led me to this with his very inappropriate comment, but all I can think of is Always Sunny when Mac reacts to someone surprising him. The tranny comes and taps him on the shoulder. He turns around and punches her in the face. And they're like, he just hit a girl. He's like, no. It's actually a dude. They're like, wait, is that a hate crime? Heck yeah, it is. Chase him down.
That's an outrageous scene.
It is.
Fuck.
So fitting.
What a show.
The first 5 seasons, I don't think there's a better show. The only one I'd maybe argue for is South Park.
Mm-hmm.
Electric. All right, 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. Was that the last series then before we go deep on the Minnesota Wild? I believe.
So. Yep.
I believe.
Took us an hour and 40, but we're here.
Made it hour 40. Now we're here. Yeah. I am very weirdly conflicted in that I'm sorry, history has clouded my judgment, and I feel like Vegas is taking this series. At the same time, I have never believed more in a Minnesota Wild postseason roster than this one. Like I've never gone into a playoff series or even gone through one and thought, yeah, Minnesota is like a team that can win this series. This is the first one where I don't care what the result is. The Wild could get embarrassed the next 2 games. I still have a completely different view on this roster and have way more optimism going into next season than I thought I would. Period. Like I love what the team has done. There's definitely things that I would criticize and things that I would change, but guess what? There's a reason I'm not an NHL coach. So I'm dumb. I believe.
So yeah, you go. I want to hear more from you, just like the series in general. Is it just the game 4, the way it ended?
So no, it's not even that. It's just the fact that the Minnesota Wild have never taken a 3-1 lead. They've never been able to do anything from a 2-2 position. Like it just history says the Wild are going the path that they've always gone, where they make you believe going up 2-1, and then they're just going to shit on your heart. I still feel like this is the team that can prove that history wrong. I'm not going to argue with history until it's been defeated. But in the back of my mind, I'd be lying if I said I didn't think this team could do it. And I've never felt that way about a Minnesota Wild team. I am always the one sitting back like, you guys are fucking idiots. Why do you think that they have a chance? Come on, be smart. Damn it, now I'm the one that might not be smart because I really believe in this team. Now, again, some critical changes that I would personally make that I don't think John Hines is going to make. We'll see how it plays out. But I still love the way that a lot of these guys are playing. There's so much that I can like speak highly of and defend. I think Marcus Foligno and Ryan Hartman have been men possessed, and they are playing great hockey right now. I think somehow you're making it work, stacking your first line when I never would have thought that would work. I'm the guy that always preaches you got to have some level of depth. You've got to have multiple lines running. They're doing it with one fucking line right now, and it's crazy. And goddamn, the people that wanted Gus traded last summer, shove it up your hoop. And there's a lot that won't come out and admit it. There's people that are in prominent positions covering hockey that will not admit it, that I have on record absolutely wanted him gone. I'm just so glad that he wasn't traded, and he's probably the goalie of the future. Awesome. And I asked Joe this. What do you think, Z? We don't award Conn Smythe's 4 games into the quarterfinals. If you had to give a Conn Smythe to one player on the Minnesota Wild, who are you picking? We'll probably disagree. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to lean Gustafsson.
Wow. We agree.
Yeah.
Gus.
Honestly, the only game where I was like, there's maybe 1 or 2 goals, and I'm like, I don't know. It was game 1. That's it.
Game 1, baby. Yep.
And even then, the plays leading up to those goals were unbelievably avoidable. So he has just been incredible, especially like game 4 is the first time where it felt like Vegas had multiple extended, like really strong pushes where they were dominant over stretches, where like the first 3 games I didn't like. They had their moments. And no matter what happens, anytime the Minnesota Wild are on the penalty kill, I'm pissing myself.
Integrity, I'm going to disagree. I think 2 is Kaprizov and Boldy. 3 is Boldy and Kaprizov. Like, I can't put one over the other. Like, they're neck and neck for me. And I actually, tell you what, I go Boldy because he had so much on his shoulders coming into this. Everyone's question. Russo coming on with me and Joe. What version of Matt Boldy do we see? Because he has fluttered out in the playoffs every year. He's the guy that's Jekyll and Hyde throughout the season. Can he like go more than a 5-game stretch dominating? Can he avoid the 5 to 10 game skids where he's not on the score sheet? Matt Boldy has proven he's a fucking guy.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yeah, this is the exact. This is like what, again, whenever anyone talk about what does Wild need, first player that would come up is always going to be Matt Boldy, just given the history and whatever. But I mean, we talked about this too. We had questions about what version of Kirill we were going to get. Obviously, part of that had to do with the fact that fucking he had that injury. He had half the year out with injury, but like, I think this is fourth playoff appearance. We've had 1 solid playoff performance from him so far, so we were wondering the same thing with Kirill. And even then, he still clearly isn't. He's still been unbelievable, and we like we know that he's still not at 100%, which is also crazy. No, they've both been excellent, obviously. But like you could still again make arguments for guys like Hartman and Foligno. Hartman's proven that he is a playoff guy. Foligno like just makes it happen. Like he is just a perfect third line forward. Like in the regular season, he plays the same way. He's not going to necessarily produce a ton of the regular season, other than that 120 goal year. But like in the playoffs, he just happens to either just be in the right spot. He finishes every hit. Obviously, he's got like 40, almost 40 hits in 4 games, which is insane. Watching him just run around every shift, like the boards are rattling, like the glass might break. It's unbelievable. But obviously, those two forwards outside of Kirill and outside of Boldy, clearly the most important. And I mean, I'm not going to necessarily say I'm like surprised with how good that they have been, or no, I'm not surprised that they've been good. I'm surprised how good Foligno and Hartman have been. Hartman's like impacted the play pretty much every time he's been on the ice,
and he's been disciplined.
Very,
like I knew he could play this way. I didn't think he could avoid the bullshit, and he has absolutely done it. And I respect the hell out of it. Good for him. What the fuck is happening with whatever that third line was this past game? Why would Nyquist, a struggling Freddie Gaudreau, which he had a great regular season, resurgent regular season. People should be apologizing for begging for him to be traded. And then Vinny Hinostroza, who hadn't played for several games. How is that line getting more minutes than Rossi, Brazo, and Trenyan? Like, I don't understand how you can bring yourself to that point as a coach and think this is what's right.
Yeah, I do want to. Damn it! You're gonna beat me to that point. I'm trying to start with the positive. Why I think this is a different scenario. Why even after 4 games, even after the annoying way that
let's say positive. We can say positive. Positive.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do the positives real quick. Number one, Gustafsson absolutely capable of outdoing Aiden Hill. I don't think that was necessarily a hot take coming in because they're both really good. Like we see performances from them from both, but we were just wondering what Gus we're going to get. We're getting what he got all year. It's funny
though that both of them spell their first names very weird.
Yeah, it's a key thing. This is the key thing we got to remember. But another positive that also makes me nervous because I don't think there's ever been, at least since he's got to Vegas, that no one's really done this for an entire like round. The Wild are absolutely capable of really containing, I guess is the route. I'm not going to, I was about to say, I was like, don't say dominate. That's not right. But Jack Eichel and Mark Stone, like they've had flashes. They've done so good at keeping them outside. Listen, game 4, they both made a couple of really nice plays, obviously. Was it Mark Stone that threw that pass to fucking Hurdle while he was on the ice with fucking Ryan Hartman? Like, the fact that he even threw that puck over is crazy. But so far, through 4 games, they've really contained them very well. I think a big part, we talked about this in live stream too, just how fucking aggressive they've been, whether it's like pinches from the D-man, how hard they're like, obviously, been on the forecheck and everything. They're not sitting back. Take notes, LA Kings. And they found a ton of success in that way. So again, it also makes you very nervous. Jack Eichel tends to get better as series go on. And I'd say probably game 4 was the most noticeable that he's been so far, just because he had the puck way more than he had in the first 3. But the fact that they've been able to contain specifically those 2 as well as they have is like a huge bonus and a huge positive. And again, a big reason I still believe this is like a different Wild team versus like just the history that we have with them in the playoffs. And how fucking good has Jared Spurgeon been? Like, I'm not surprised because he's just been good when he's been healthy this year. But even when he's whatever, like not making like making offense happen or anything like that, like he's another guy, like he's been all over the ice. He's another guy that's been super aggressive with those pinches and found himself in the right spot at the right time. Decision making, how well he's defended. I think he's
so
top 3 or 4 in the league in playoffs and plus minus whatever. Like when he's on the ice, just general good things happen. He's just been awesome.
I agree. did you think we'd see the day, at least this soon, where not noticing Jared Spurgeon as much, especially like to the casual viewer, like he hasn't necessarily stood out, right? Like he's just playing super sound defensively. And he's a guy that I always saw either being like, you're going to notice him or you're going to notice him for the wrong reason.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just kind of like lingered there in the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair?
Yeah. That's fine.
Oh, that's fine. All right. I said something.
Yeah, no, I've just been, again, just naturally, whenever I watch, I'm always just like looking for those specific like little plays from like defensemen in general too. Like that's why I think I notice them a lot more. It's just I'm literally just like looking for it. But again, just like when he's on the ice, good things have been happening. The Wild have been controlling play when he's out there. Like I just think he's been awesome. It's been 4 really fucking good hockey games either way. So I'm loving the series. But we can go negative now.
Yeah.
Bad trends. I think it was already known. The double standard on Marco Rossi is sickening to me. Listen, if you want to put him on the fourth line, you know what? Fine. Because I love it. I love that he has found a way to produce now with a couple goals, and that trio has been excellent. It also, I'm like, God damn it, of course it's working when you put him on the fourth line. But like, why the fuck are they not on the ice? Why are they not on the ice? It's crazy. I don't know what the double standard is. I don't know why he has it, but like those 3 have been really good in the playoffs. It's funny. Like Russo talked about it too. Like when they talked to Barry Trotz about Trenton, he's like, don't worry, like he's going to make an impact in the playoffs. He's a playoff hockey guy.
Check him at game 83.
Awesome. Yeah, game 83, baby.
But dude, like what in the actual like I know not everyone takes a stance, but like the one that always gets me, we all know this, everyone listening, Tony Pants. A 5x5 is a no-brainer for both sides. Fuck you, dude. Straight up. I'm not saying that it's a disrespectful offer because it's not. Like I understand the Wild making that pitch. To say that it's a no-brainer for Marco Rossi, given where the salary cap is going, given what he did for you this season, and given what he's done since he got here and the sacrifices he's made, everything he's battled through, to say that a 5x5 is a gift to him is fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry. Get out of here. Go make a fucking Akayushi steak. Pair it with a nice Italian red. I'm with Cosgrove. It's a reasonable opening offer, but to say it's a no-brainer for both sides, like that's what sends me. I'm not mad at the Wild for offering that, but if that's like the final offer, and if you think that that's a no-brainer, you are getting waterboarded with Kool-Aid and asking for more. Period. I'm so fucking over the glazing. I can't.
Yeah, and again, like the biggest example of this double standard is literally this game 4 where scores a goal, that line, every time they go in the forecheck, they're making plays, they're creating turnovers, they're creating offensive possession. Again, they score, they produce. And then they basically are stapled to the bench for the next like period and a half. Like again, Rossi scores for the second straight game. And through 2 periods, he has been on the ice for 4 minutes and 40 seconds. They asked him why he didn't play the last 13 minutes of that second period. And he mentioned it on that there was a lot of special teams. There was 2 penalties.
Mitch Chaffee is playing for the Lightning right now and was just out there for a goal. I love that. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, he
scored it. Damn.
He played pretty much the whole year.
I know, but it's just like, I don't know. Tampa's one of those teams where it's really easy for me to ignore the depth and just look at the top.
Yeah.
And the fact that Chaffee just scored a key goal. Very fun.
Hell yeah. But again, the fact that he again scores second straight game when that line's on the ice, they're turning pucks over, creating offense, whatever. They play under 5 minutes through 2 periods in that game. And the fact that like he's your second leading scorer all year long, and towards the end of the year, you played him less and less and less and less and less. He's only like earning demotions in the lineup, still producing, fucking just getting 0 ice time. I don't understand it. I don't know why.
Tampa just scored back to back, 2-1. Cooper might punch a baby, and I won't be mad at him. He's so excited.
But either way, very frustrating to see how the ice time shaking out, how the forward lines are being deployed, especially when you literally, the guys that are playing the least amount of minutes are producing offense for you.
Well, dude, let's talk about the blue line.
That's where I was going next.
I
hate this message that they're sending Z Bullion. Hate it. Hate it.
What's the message? Make an honest mistake and you don't play again, especially in an overtime power play where we fucking need you. Dumbest shit ever.
It's just like, and I mean, like, you know, game one, that the penalty happens, like, hey, you know what? The messages after that game, they were like, hey, it's gonna happen, whatever. Just gonna keep playing in game two. Played more and more in game 2 and 3. Takes the bad penalty. Was that was the third period? And after that, pretty much stayed on the bench. Well, I mean, yeah, whatever. Like he takes penalty, doesn't matter. Whatever. Like either way, it results in Vegas scoring. Which, by the way, the PK literally up until the goal happened was looking outstanding.
Looked a lot better.
It drives me insane,
like, dude. It's not like he went full like seeing red Jared Spurgeon and chops a guy's Achilles. Like honest mistake, happens to get the bullshit 4 minute because of blood, which I still think is the dumbest rule that exists. And he doesn't play the rest of the game, especially in a critical moment where he is uniquely equipped to help you. Nah, you're out. We're going to play someone else. Well, great. We didn't score. We ended up losing the game. God damn it.
Yeah. And this is the link, what I mentioned earlier. We talked about LA and how they deploy those defensemen. Like, you send a message that he gets 4 more shifts after taking that double minor. Doesn't play a single shift in overtime. That means that fucking Brodin and Middleton are on the ice every other shift, including at the end of the game there when, like, obviously they're both gassed. Middleton, like, flubs the puck, turnover goal. Like, it led directly to that goal. Like, it's crazy. Like, so
it needs to be said, I appreciate our boy Cole, who's here almost every time we go live, comparing Heinz' hatred for kids to Mike Hastings. Cole, you're our people. You get me. You get me. By the way, Wisconsin not looking good, but that's a side tangent. That also makes me very happy. We're staying on negative. All right, keep me sad. Yeah, crazy to me that he was treated that way because of a penalty that was not like an egregious "you fucked up" error. Like, I'm sorry. That's insane to me. It's totally different if he like takes like some crazy retaliatory penalty or does something crazy, chops a guy. Like, no. Honest mistake that anyone could have made, ends up being a 4-minuter because it drew blood, which again, dumb fucking rule. And Z Boyum stapled to the bench. That crazy message to send to the kid. Now he's gonna go out there and play and be walking on eggshells like, oh, I better not. I don't want to risk hurting.
Well, he's not playing. He's done. Like, he's not playing game 5.
Well, no, because Merrill will probably not look great in game 5, and then he'll be back.
I get, regardless of how they look, I can guarantee you that still they stick with Merrill. And
is that a guarantee or is that a guarantee?
Well played. That was
hey, Billy G.
But just tell him, hey, we don't trust you. So now, if he does like feature back in the series, you know, every single time he touches the puck, he's gonna be thinking twice. Which is like, if you want him to do Z Bullion things, he cannot play like that. So I hate the message it sends him. Again, hate the message it sends Marco Rossi. Like, even if you produce, which like also it's crazy that Heinz is like, well, you know, special teams factored into like him not really playing. Which again, there were 2 penalties. There was 1 power play, 1 PK. Also, he has been at least on your second power play unit the whole fucking year. Like, at least he's been on the second PP unit. Like, second leading scorer. So those 2 things are the things really good at, like, because again, after 4 games, I feel great about Minnesota. Like, they've been excellent in these games. Outside of like the raw numbers as far as special teams go, because it is funny. But those are specifically the Bouillon thing and the deployment of that fourth line.
Rossi has me way more mad than Bouillon, if I'm being honest. Like, because I've been negative in the past on Merrill. He's had a solid year.
He's been fine.
I'm just very curious to see what happens when it's him and Bogosian on a pairing in the postseason against this Vegas team. I'm nervous that they will be exploited. And that's not to say that Z Bouillon was going to be some crazy difference, but he at least brings a benefit that the other two players don't. Who is quarterbacking your power play, and how is it going to be better than the garbage that it's been? Because there's no fucking way. And you're probably playing 5 forwards, and that scares me just as much. I don't like it. I don't like it. There it is. Boldy. Great. That scares me.
Yeah. But
I don't know. But the Rossi stuff drives me crazy. He's gone. I can't change it, but I just can't for the life of me wrap my head around why they are treating him
it's
this
also
way.
like even if you're resigned to the fact that you're trading him in the offseason, boost his fucking value.
How can you expect to get something back when you are playing him like this? Oh my fucking God. It's crazy. And dude, if I'm Marco Rossi, I'm telling them fuck off. Like, good luck signing me because I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, he's done everything for them. Like, do they owe him anything? No. But guess what? This guy has done fucking everything. He almost died. That's right. Hangover. Did you die? He almost fucking died, comes in and gets buried by fans because he can't ramp up right away, stays here in the offseason and misses his sister's wedding, comes in and fucking torches for you, puts up crazy numbers, beats the record rookie scoring, and you're like, yeah, we're just not convinced he's good enough. We know that Yurov's going to come in and be a top 6 center. No, you fucking don't. No, you don't. It's insane to me. I cannot understand. And again, if the team's made a decision and he's gone and he's not the right fit for XYZ, like, I can, to an extent, like, understand and respect it and say, you know what, you guys know better than me. But the way that they have treated him since, they're not boosting his trade stock, so that's fucking dumb. They're not giving him a chance to even prove himself and say, keep me here. It's like they've resigned to, you're gone and we don't care what we get back. We just don't want you here. And that drives me absolutely crazy. I can't.
Let's see.
I'll be right back. I got to just run real quick and say goodnight to the little guy, and then I'll be back in and we'll keep talking about this. Mateo, if you've got any good chats, throw them up. Let Z say whatever. I'll be back in like 1 or 2 minutes.
Sounds good, dude. Yeah, I hate the fact that this I actually just saw the title. I hate it. The Vegas Golden referees. I don't care about this officiating thing. I really don't. There've been a couple of ridiculous moments. Same time, I'm not gonna get all worked up about it. I just it drives me nuts when everyone does that. Again, there's been some egregious bad moments from the rest, but far from the reason that any of these games have gone the way that they've gone. So that's that. Of course, we can't watch the Minnesota Wild play hockey without at least one injury scare. Obviously, Johansson was out last game. Looks like he's good to go. He's back in. Eriksson Ek blocks the Eichel shot at the end of the third period. Takes a maintenance day. We'll see what happens there. So we've got Devin Shore. The fact that the fill-in was Devin Shore playing Kaprizov and Boldy, the practice lines on that top line, really made me do a double take. That's scary. Hopefully, Eriksson Ek, just a maintenance day, is back in. But one other interesting thing from today's practice was Liam Ogren traveling to Vegas. And at least being promoted from Black Ace to, whatever, practice squad. Who knows? I mean, I wouldn't hate seeing him in there playing with, if you're going to keep Nyquist, if you're going to keep
Ibid or Goudreau in. I wouldn't mind seeing Liam Oakland come in for like Gus Nyquist because he's giving you. I think he has 1, maybe 2 shots on goal so far in the series. He's like just giving you essentially nothing offensively. A bunch of bad turnovers. Same thing with Goudreau. I'd be shocked if he did crack the lineup, but the fact that it's even a consideration or a thought or a possibility is interesting. Still think it's a long shot, but interesting to see that he, at least in the words of Russo, promoted from Black Ace to the Minnesota Wild practice squad. It's interesting.
I was going to say when I came back, we have to talk about Ogren, but good work. I also have to not even apologize because my previous negativity came from like what I was seeing. Marcus Johansson's been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He really has. It makes me sad because it means that Tony Pants is thrilled. But if JoJo isn't coming back in, do you feel like Ogren makes sense to be the guy that steps in the middle six? Or like, does he have to be in the top 6 in your mind?
No, I think Johansson's back. He's good. Like,
I know he is.
Like in that, he's taking the line rushes today. I wouldn't even. This is what I was just saying. Give me fucking Foligno, Goudreau, Ogren. Like, I don't care. Like, that's fine. Because again, you're literally getting nothing as far as offense goes from Gus Nyquist, unfortunately. Like, literally.
Yeah, Kieran's never going to admit that he fucked that trade up. He's going to play.
Yeah, who knows?
I think that's unfair to Hinostroza from like I understand the question and sentiment. I also feel like that's a guy that's coming in cold, like has not played in a while. I'm not going to judge him on that one start. Now,
yeah, that's a tough spot to come in. That was a tough spot.
If that's a guy that hasn't been playing, agreed. But like, it's one game. He was fine, I guess.
The one thing I was saying before that, like, briefly scared the shit out of me today was like, so Eriksson takes the maintenance day, blocked that Eichel shot in the third period. Who do they have taking line rushes with the first line is Devin Shore? I was like, yeah, they are dedicated to this bit of keeping Marco Rossi on the fourth line. Don't even fucking take line rushes. Right. But I was like, okay, we know that that's the line combo they're going with in that fourth line. I would assume Eriksson gonna play, but I was like, that's crazy. That was the guy to take line rushes with those two. But
I'm gonna ask you a very direct,
very frustrating
question.
Rossi thing
that won't have a direct answer. Does Matt Zuccarello need an extension?
This is, you and I have talked about this before too, like especially during that stream. I mean, the guy still could play and he's producing like he has been. Like,
can I say, for a guy that's like viewed generally as like the grouchy old man, the curmudgeon, I love, respect. I don't even know the right word for it. The fact that he's a guy that flat out tells Russo and Joe, like, I don't want to talk to you after a win because I have nothing to say. Bring me out here after a loss and I'll fucking tell you what went wrong. Like, yeah. You need that. You need it. And he's a guy that, like, throughout his career has been a consummate pro, like has never really had a bad season. And he is my better hair Marty Light.
There you go. Yeah.
A little engine that could.
Yeah, I think like the one year that we were all like, was year one in Minnesota. Like, literally since then, he's just been solid.
I thought it was the weirdest signing, and it's turned out to be like an incredible signing. Yet another great move made by a horrible human.
Yeah, the whole debacle. That was a crazy period of time.
People will forget, and I'm going to do everything in my power as long as this podcast exists to make sure that people don't forget the ridiculous Paul Fenton era, because it was something.
At the same time, he gave us the Lizard King nickname.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Also, the fact that Matt Zuccarello signed the contract.
In fairness, he gave us Brock Faber too.
It's true.
Turning Granlund into Faber and Ogren, love that.
I never put it together that way. Yeah.
Paul Fenton knows hockey. He just doesn't know how to be a good person.
Yeah, I think.
Which I feel like that's kind of weirdly the that gets placed on hockey people in general, like, oh, scumbag people, but whatever. Like, nope, he proves their point.
Yeah.
Fever dream. Yes, integrity. And this is not a victory lap because I've had plenty of things wrong, but the Fiala for Granlund trade, I celebrated. I was so excited. And so many people were pissed. Oh my God, was I happy about that trade.
Yeah.
But I was also probably a little higher than I should have been on Fiala and definitely lower than the general fan on Granlund. So It's the perfect concoction. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Anything else on this series though?
I mean, we haven't even really talked about the Vegas side of things, right?
Mm-hmm. True.
And we don't have to like go crazy on it, but it is nuts that they put the lines in an absolute blender and had 4 legit lines that went up against us, and that's what kind of unlocked them. And I wonder, and what we saw on the ice wouldn't directly point to this, but do you think that the Stone plus Eichel pairing, like, almost we're overthinking it? Like, we need to be the shutdown guys because that's kind of our MO and what we've been heralded as versus just going out and fucking playing.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, again, I didn't see that on the ice, but like, do you think that's what's going on in their brains at all? Because they were not producing. Like, it's insane to me that they hadn't done anything through the first 3 games. And, you know, I had to actually go out and like tell people to stop jinxing it into existence.
Yeah. This whole series so far, the thing that's been fascinating is just how perimeter they've stayed. Like, I feel like almost every time I've seen either one of those guys in the puck, it's just been on the outside. Like Eichel's just been like hanging on, looking for seams. Like, even on the power play, even when the puck ends up in the net, like for like a minute and a half on their power play, it's just like stick handling, moving pucks, trying to like rifle a shot. Again, like hits guys with the skate, but like then the dam eventually just like breaks at some point. But the fact that it kept him off the score sheet completely for the first 3 games?
Impressive.
I think it was Game 4 that he got his first point in the series. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know if they're necessarily overthinking it. Eichel pretty much has this history of like since Vegas, because I mean he didn't play playoff.
History of being a horrible person in the locker room, cancer, some might say. I'm sorry, I'm never going to get over it. I'm never going to get over the fact that Wild fans didn't think that it was ridiculous to pay up for him, but thought that bringing him in would be a problem. If you removed salary cap, if you removed trade value, like people thought if Jack Eichel is part of the Minnesota Wild, he will ruin us from within like Parisi and Suter did. And I didn't know how to react because I never thought something that audacious would be said.
Yeah, I love it.
I am a Jack Eichel truther. I've always been a big fan.
Yeah.
Granted, easily McDavid at this point, if you're picking between the two, like how do you not pick McDavid? But like, even when Buffalo lost that draft lottery, I'm like, you know what, Buffalo, you shouldn't be that mad because of all the years to get fucked out of the first overall pick. I'd say this is the one.
Right.
Curly-headed fuck.
Yeah, and I think even Eichel after, I think it was after Game 4, I mentioned it too, like for them and him especially to just produce more offense. The thing I was saying was like they just have to get to the net more because there's just been so much time where he's been on the puck stickhand, looking for seams, maybe overthinking it that way versus like just getting pucks on net or just getting to the middle of the ice. But I like even like their cycle game's been off too, where it's still like pretty stagnant when they're out there. I don't know. It's looked different, but I mean, I think in Russo, I think he wrote it too, is like Eichel loves game 5s. It's been they're back fucking at home again, which is scary actually, but I guess regular season wildly good on the road. But yeah, I don't know. They've just been so perimeter, and I haven't like game 4 is the first time where I felt like they had extended possession time on the puck, but like again, a lot of it was still on the outside. So if they get to the middle of the ice, that's going to be scary. And Eichel's more than capable of doing that, so it's been interesting so far. But yeah, as far as like the overthinking, like playing responsible hockey, I think it's more overthinking like individual plays and like trying to make the perfect play, score the perfect goal. Like Mark Stone literally threw the puck at Hurdle into Hartman and it ends up in the net. And it's like maybe they just have to just throw more hopeful fucking shots on it. I don't know. But also, again, shout out Gustafsson. He's made some ridiculous saves on both of those guys.
Dude, straight up. And it's crazy that like the 2 centers that were clearly available to be traded for, that I was like so on board for trading whatever it took to get them, are both on the Vegas Golden Knights. Drives me crazy. I love Tomas Hertl. I'm obsessed. I've loved him since he made a start in the league, and I'm so sad that he has to be a member of the Vegas Golden Knights, because that guy, I love everything about the way he plays.
Yeah, what a fucking player, dude.
Can you imagine him being between Boldy and Kaprizov?
Makes me want to throw up.
In a good way?
Yes. Yeah,
that's like the only thing that I didn't want to do is throw up.
Yeah.
Repeat a little.
Well, throw up like. I guess since he's not here,
so you want to throw up that he's not here. Got it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I heard that wrong.
But yeah, I think really he leads their team right now. 5 points in those 4 games. I mean, he's winning faceoffs. He's a factor at both ends of the like. He's just been solid.
It's actually crazy. We have not talked about the most important thing to most Minnesota Wild fans, and it was actually the thumbnail for this whole live stream. How much do you blame the refs?
Oh, I already I can't. I didn't even realize until Mateo put the graphic up. I didn't even realize the fucking title of this stream was Vegas Golden Referees. I couldn't care less.
I think that's maybe too much. I will say, like, let's just keep it to game 4. Did those calls directly lead to the Wild losing? No. Were there some egregious misses? I would argue yes. But there weren't any. Like, I'd be more bothered if there was like a missed call that directly led to like a pivotal moment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The reffing's been bad. And Mateo actually asked on our mailbag on Fellowship of the Rink, is it reputation for Vegas that, oh, they're the least penalized team, and that's why like these seemingly 50-50 calls are all going Vegas's way? Like, is there anything to that, or do you think that's just Wild fans grasping for straws like we always tend to?
I don't think so, just because like Boston, obviously not a referee, never been a referee, never will be. But like,
I wouldn't let my kid be a referee.
Basic psychology just tells me like, if I'm a ref when I go in, like I don't want that to be a thing. Like I would probably go the other way with it. I'd be like, we gotta fucking make that change. Like I don't want anyone to think that we're fucking pampering Vegas. Like, I think it would.
But do you want to be the guy that calls all the penalties on the team that doesn't get penalties? I don't know.
I think for first 3 for sure. Like they were trying to honestly just keep the whistles in the pocket. A couple of the misses were the ones that were egregious, but I don't know. There have been a couple bad ones. Yeah, there are a couple of egregious ones or whatever. I don't think it's led to a loss either way. So like that's the
agreed. Also,
just, like it drives me crazy.
It helps that Minnesota absolutely wants us to be played 5-on-5. Like Joe Smith has said it. Jesse Granger emphatically said it. He's like, guys, complain about the refs all you want. It's in Minnesota's benefit for this to be played 5-on-5.
In either
Because
direction.
they suck on the power play and penalty kill.
Yeah,
Like straight up.
I don't want any. I don't want either way, dude. But again, I think in like just on the special teams too, it's so weird because I think they're like their PK is like 12 out of 60. I think they're like 60 something %. But they're a bit like the first 3 minutes of the Bouillon double minor, Vegas had nothing. Like Gustafsson made one really nice save, but they kept everything outside. They were clearing pucks, and it was just the one breakdown. It was the one. And then there have been, I think, 2 of the power play goals they scored the first like 5 seconds of the power play. It's like, fuck, we familiar with that one. That one felt familiar. It's all year. But like there have been like such good sequences on the PK, and it's just so annoying when it immediately breaks down with one play. It's like, that. Which there you go. I guess that's just the way it goes. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel like there should be 60% on the PK.
No.
Power play is a different story. They've had 1 or 2 ones that looked good. And that's about it.
What's the solution though? Like, do we just have completely inadequate personnel? Is coaching completely to blame? Like, what? I just don't have a good answer for how to fix the power play besides, have a power play quarterback like Z Bouillon.
Well,
how crazy is it that Kalen Addison would actually make a difference, even though he is not an NHL defenseman? Clearly, the league has decided that he would be somewhat of a liability defensively on the third pairing, but he would make your power play better. Objectively, I can say that.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong?
No. The power play is just, especially when you decide we're going no Z Bouillon, we're going 5 forwards, you're immediately deploying like Matt Boldy at the top, which is you're not going to get anything from Matt Boldy at the blue line. Like you're just not.
I'd rather put Kaprizov there.
Or like let Kaprizov do what he likes to do and just roam. Like that's like half their strategy. Or it's like usually the most successful power play is like moving the puck, where it's just like, you know what, fucking Kaprizov's gonna take the puck. He's going 10-2, and he's gonna tomahawk around the fucking ice.
Do you know where I'm going because you said let him rove?
No.
I'm going Rover, coach. I'm just gonna go Rover. No, Jackie, run the play. Don't go Rover. What's the jejunum?
Yeah.
It's attached to the small intestines. Ho.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's almost every time they get a power play too, it's like there's 1 or 2 legit issues that are different each one, where it's like half the time they can't just establish any possession in the first place, or they actually do, but everything is just passing to the outside, no movement. Like it's just, again, something that really helps is having a guy at the top who moves the puck, who can dance on the blue line, create shooting lanes, create passing lanes, like make the fucking PK move. But half the time that it's either like they don't get the puck into the zone, or they do lose it immediately, like try to dump it in. That's another thing that drives me nuts too. When they like dump the puck in and it's just an easy like pick up whoever's in net, they just dish it out. But like it's so stagnant whenever they do finally establish possession, where it's like if you're the PK, you just don't have to move. Like you could just hang out. And like there's no opening of lanes, no manipulation with the puck, off the puck. Like it's just no movement. It's just guys waiting around for like hopefully like a one-timer, or maybe if you throw one on net, get a rebound. Like it's just like the way that they've decided to like attack on the power play. Like Joel Eriksson, I remember, has been like their leading power play goal scorer the past couple of years from like Hyman area, like in the Hyman fucking zone. It's just like he's being a dick and he's just gonna like knock pucks in.
The disrespect. Gabe Landeskog comes back from 3 years not playing hockey, and they have him talking to Leah Hextall pregame.
Just the disrespect.
I will say, how awesome is it? And it seems like a little thing, but like NHL teams don't do this. There has not been a player to wear the C since Landeskog left the ice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, McKinnon turned down several times. Like, I'm not the captain of this team. Gabe is. I think that's fucking awesome and doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah, no, I love that. You're right. 100%.
If he never came back and like they always knew he'd never come back, then it's a little weird. But now that he has come back, it's like, fuck yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just, I mean, it's just cool that he's back playing again, playing playoff hockey and producing. Like, good for him. But yeah, I don't know. We've really stretched this one out. Anything else Vegas Wild that we wanted to touch on?
Oh man, that gave me a great South Park reference that probably Cosgrove and I will be the only ones that get, so I'll just ignore it. Yeah, anyone have any like thoughts, questions, topics on Wild versus Vegas? If not, we're probably wrapping it up here, but we'll give you a couple minutes. Man, I don't think we have any young guns to talk about unless, I mean, Z, while we wait to see if anyone has any questions or topics. How fun is Ryder Ritchie? Just say nice things about him.
Well, we're going to have to, I think we're still waiting for them to play again because they've just been dominating the first two fucking playoff series.
What, did they just sweep them both?
They went 4-1. They went sweep and then 4-1 or vice versa. I can't remember.
Love that. I don't even know how those playoffs work. How many rounds do they have to make it to get to the Mem Cup? Like, is it one more round and then they make it to the Final Four?
They're playing Lethbridge tomorrow. Yeah, I think it's the WHL conference final right now. It's like, yeah, it's the same. It's like the host team and then the winners of WHL, OHL, Q.
It won't happen, I don't think, but like I would do horrible, unspeakable things for Ryder Ritchie and Gavin McKenna to both leave the WHL and be Gophers next season. Like I can't put it into words. I would be so goddamn excited.
Yeah, I actually just realized too. They already did play Lethbridge the first two games. They're up 2-0. Yeah, Richie fucking 3
Sitting
points
waiting.
in that first game. Game 2. Oh, why did I not remember? Oh, maybe I did watch this one. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm like all fucked up with like the NHL playoffs, but yeah, they're up. Shocking. They've lost one game so far in the playoffs. They went sweep 4-1. Now they're up 2-0 on Lethbridge. Let's see. Why is my mouse not working now?
Yo, Z, Cosgrove coming in hot here. I don't know if you see the comment below. Controversial take. Should we wait a few years before we credit Judd Brackett for draft success? Outside of the first round, does he have any hit rate?
Well, I hate these things.
You're going through like a whole existential crisis right now.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's kind of tough to not give him credit for, like, when you look at their drafts, anyone that's covering prospects, they've been like, oh, weird, Wild get an A-, A+. Since he's been drafting, they've signed all of these motherfuckers to 4x4s. There's been like one spot opening up every fucking year.
Hey, hang on. You got the 4x4. You forgot 3 other letters.
The Billy G special, dude.
NMC, baby. Yeah, pretty hard to criticize him with the players brought in. Like, really, the only negative you can throw at him is, oh, weird, who's Nadinov got traded? But like, Cosgrove's trying to rile people up. I get it, but I think it's reasonable to say that you can't call it a success until you see the guys play. Sure. Mm-hmm. But to be like, no, he hasn't done shit is also crazy.
I would say, analyzing the draft so far, in Like in the moment, he's been excellent. I've loved every draft that he's had. Here we are.
Very rare. Like, there's been a couple of times that you were like, God, I wish he took this guy. But like, that's like later rounds and it's nitpicky, whatever.
Usually it's more of like I can't believe this kid's just sitting here.
Who was the guy last year that like was sitting there and you were mad he didn't take?
I can't remember this one.
Yeah, that's what it was. Luke Misa.
Luke Misa, yeah.
Yep. I was almost going to say Misa, and I'm like, no, I'm thinking of current Misa, and it's confusing me. Also, we don't even need a full like draft recap, but let's just take team selecting out of it, right? If you're a startup organization, who's your first overall pick this year? Is it still Schaefer, or do you lean Misa, or do you lean someone else?
I mean, it's definitely between Schaefer and Misa for me right now.
So Misa is like firmly your number 2 at this point. Because for a while it's kind of shuffled, and you've been like, yeah, Schaefer's my number 1, and then like it's him, Porter Martone.
Well, I mean, at this point now too, like Schaefer's missed so much time this year, and Misa's just literally dominated from start to finish. Like, I wouldn't call either one of them firm.
Fun question.
But I just love Matthew Schaefer, so I don't know.
Given the age discrepancy, 1 year, whatever, who would be a better gopher? McKenna or Misa next year?
But
both one and done, but next year, Misa with a year advantage or Kevin McKenna, and we're leaving Ryder Ritchie out of the discussion. Yeah.
These are literally like my least favorite.
You're not shitting on one. I'm asking you to pump one of their tires. That's all. They're both sick players, and if either of them ended up with the Gophers, I would throw a fucking party.
I'd probably just go Misa. I think his style probably lends itself to college hockey even more. Yeah, I'll just say Misa.
All right.
We've seen him play pretty much every role a forward can play in the OHL. Like, comes in the exceptional status, well over point per game as like a 15, 16-year-old in the OHL in that shortened season. Then he comes in with Saginaw again and is forced to play like complimentary middle six on the wing. Really develops another level of like his defensive game while still putting up decent points. And then this year gets the full reins at 1C and just eviscerates the OHL at both ends of the ice, effective in all 3 zones. Ridiculously good skater. I think I've just seen him play every role a forward can play at the junior hockey level, to the point
plus,
where
OHL is vastly superior to the WHL.
Don't you dare! Don't. Nope.
So
I'm saying Misa.
Fair. Now Mateo asked, who is in the discussion with Gavin McKenna for the 2026 draft? I know he's gonna be the one overall, like it's been preordained by our Lord and Savior Sidney Crosby, but like, who else is high on the radar for that draft here?
Yeah, so you mentioned Stenberg.
He drafted a couple of years ago.
His brother.
What is his brother? That's fun.
Viggo Bjork, another kid from Sweden.
Also, is 2026 your year? Is that the Swede year?
There's a bunch of good Swedes for next year for sure.
Fun.
This kid Ethan Belcheds for Windsor. He's ridiculous and he's a terrifying hockey player.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's a fucking animal. 6'5", 230, throws both hands, scores. He's very good.
I'm sorry. I need you to repeat, and I want to make sure that this is in pounds. How much does he weigh?
He is 6'5". Let me pull up his actual weight. Yeah, he's listed at 6'5", 227 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, he's scary.
He'd kick my ass.
He's
I think
He's
that's the
legit.
first draft eligible that I'm like, yep, he would decidedly kick my ass.
yeah.
6'5", 230 as a 17-year-old? Fuck that.
Yeah, he's a scary player.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look out, Stevie Lescavar. Isha, don't listen, earmuffs. Who is Philip Ekberg? I don't know who that is.
He's another really good player. He made his debut last season in the Allsvenskan as a 16-year-old, scored 4 goals. Then he moved over to the O this year, put up some okay numbers, but he's been really good for a long time. He was really good as like a 16-year-old in the J20 and the J18. Again, made his way to the Allsvenskan, produced, including the first game, which was crazy. 4 goals in his fucking debut in the Allsvenskan. He came over, I think he was 67s this year, Ottawa. Didn't produce as much as we thought he would, but like still had a decent year.
Well, the Wild will never draft him because
he'll be a mid-round pick.
67s players, but
probably a mid-round pick. Yeah, he's torching the U18s right now.
Sure. Now, my last question, selfishly, because friend of the show who will be jumping on with us sometime in the coming weeks, Jesse Marshall, another prospect whisperer, he is holding out a lot of faith that one sibling of Slippery Pete might fall to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Do you see a world where that happens, or do you feel like Victor Eklund is coming off the board somewhere in the top like 6 or 7 picks?
Where's Pittsburgh projected?
Pittsburgh, assuming they don't jump via lottery, I'm pretty sure they fell at 9, maybe 8.
Yeah, it's definitely still a world where he's there. Like teams are always going to be afraid.
Likely world or like outside shot?
I don't think it's like the answer is like neither. Where it's like I would take him before 9 for sure. That being said, it's the NHL. These teams fucking are very scared of like 5'10", 160-pound wingers.
I mean,
But
when you talk to me about a 6'5", 230 monster previously, I guess I understand.
Yeah,
you know, that's the following year.
I think it's more just given how good he was in Allsvenskan. Yeah, you're leaning towards like hope, like really hoping he's sitting there at 9, but you know it's unlikely. But it's not like if he goes to 9, if he's available at 9, like yeah, that doesn't shock me. It's the NHL.
Sure, but if you had to handicap it, you'd say he's more likely gone, but not by much.
Yeah, like 6, 7.
Okay. What happens if the Leafs blow the series to Ottawa? Z holds Canada's the craziest one-person party in his bedroom.
Canada's team, the Ottawa Senators. Sickos.
It'd be very fun.
I'll be tuning the fuck into those live streams.
All right, this is the last thing, and then we are the fuck out of here. Do you think that the Leafs have a good chance against either Florida team, assuming they come out healthy?
Oh, yeah. I still absolutely. Like, again, this is not the same Toronto Maple Leafs that we've just been accustomed to the last however many years.
The last 50 years?
Like, for the first time, you don't really come into any of these playoff series with like a real massive concern about what's going on in net. You have different kinds of defensemen who can fill different roles, even like the types of forwards they have on all their lines. They've got like obviously their top guys, but then you have guys like Matty Nyes who gives you a little bit of everything. Oh, that's brutal. But yeah, no, I still think like Toronto could absolutely still make a run.
Do they have a preference?
No, I mean, I think you're just in one against Florida or Tampa either way, dude. Like, I've been more surprised just how Florida's wins, like how dominant they were. Like, if you told me that the wins were going to be dominated by one of these teams, like let's say it was going to be 5 or 6 games and every win was going to be domination, I would have like been like, oh, that's for sure Tampa. That's just been what they're doing all year.
Yeah.
But so like Florida's just been incredibly impressive. But 2-2.
Oh, you are like barely ahead of me then. You son of a bitch.
Aaron Ekblad.
Not even barely. You are well ahead of me, sir.
Still hasn't happened. Never felt healthier.
What is going on? I'm on like legit cable. That you were like a good 20 to 25 seconds ahead of me there. Wow. Damn it. I really want this game to be knotted up because I need a game 7. It'll be so fun. Also, that was a Royd's goal for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's never felt healthier.
The comments like, oh yeah, he's coming in the best shape he's ever been in. Like, no fucking shit.
He's literally never
what
felt
a crazy comment.
Yep.
But all right, I think that's it. I think that ends it. Appreciate everybody for tuning in.
That's coming back. That's no goal.
Is it?
I was gonna say that looked way off on the entry anyways. I was shocked they let that one go.
Oh, so okay.
They're like way off. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
It's coming back. But yeah, appreciate you guys. We will definitely catch you next week. I will likely jump in with Isha during intermissions for his live streams this week. So maybe see you guys there. Everyone tune in Tuesday, Thursday. Isha will be with you all game long. But otherwise, we'll catch you guys later. I don't have much else to say. We've said way too many words for way too long.
We'll see you then, or I'll see you another time.
Poetic.
It is very confusing. Are you coming or not?
Oh, shit.